too many butt stuffs.
Oh, that's live. You're on now.
Yeah. I think he did that on purpose. Because
That's on
of
you,
what
Hans.
you do
That's
over off air.
you just made me call you Hans too. That by the way,
Well, I
Vaughn
mean,
actually does go by Hans from some time to time as well.
Hans.
But that's on you, Vaughn.
My full name is Hans von Heiliger.
Heiliger. Yeah.
Anyway, hello
We have two
everyone.
Hans now. Wow.
Yeah. Though I am more Vaughn, less Hans. Hello everyone. Welcome to Into the Nightmare, where stuff gets said and things get done. So,
Yeah.
how's everyone doing tonight? We're doing absolutely fantastic.
That was not remotely true in any way. It doesn't matter.
Not even remotely. We're all, well, 3 of us are a little on the sick end, so bear with us, one of them being the DM. I am much better now, though, so that is definitely one of the reasons why we're going. And we, yeah. Quick recap on all the things happening this week. We have tonight for Into the Nightmare. Then we've got our usual TTRPG stuff on Saturday for Nightbane, which I am excited to get back to. I've been away for a week. I need to catch up, find out what happened to my character, seeing as Cook did things last week.
The VOD for that comes out tomorrow morning,
which I will be watching.
Check out
and
on
then,
YouTube. Oh, that's more energy than I have.
YouTube, Owlbear Inn, find us. And then on Sunday, we have Tales of Andrea. We get back to the exciting adventure of being on the seas and heading towards a forest, I hope. Yes.
Yeah. We hope.
We hope. Anyway, other than that,
I have to rewatch Sunday's session because I was sitting there at the end of it thinking, what just happened?
Yeah. So much happened this past Sunday.
Hey, Drow.
So much happened. Hello there. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do a recap of what happened here and Into the Nightmare last time.
Do you want to do that before the intro or after the intro?
Quickly before, because it won't take too long. Cool. At the beginning of the last time we actually had a session, they fought an Illithid. The Illithid threw Mixinix out of the tower, and she started marching south to find the Orc city that the Orcs had told her about. The rest of the party successfully defeated the Illithid, quite cunningly too, and then proceeded to follow another Warforged off to go and meet Cephas, who gave Callus a key, a very special key. And then all of them left the tower and are heading south and are just about at the point where the woods are turning into hills, which are then turning into mountains, when they saw a dragon. The boys are about a little less than a day behind Mixinix now. A dragon. So yeah, that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and roll that intro, and then we'll get right into it.
It is open, my friends. Battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be heard in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound hold this hallowed ground.
All right. So it is now the morning the next day. You guys had your little powwow the night before, and you're about to break camp and head off. Mixie Nicks, they are about half a day behind you. However, they are also much faster than you are, so they should catch up. Not too.
I made my speed normal. Remember, I'm not.
Oh yeah,
slow
that's
no
right.
more.
You're not slow anymore. Never mind. You guys might have to double time to catch up with Mixie Nicks. I keep
don't think we're
forgetting
in any
Mixie Nicks
hurry.
isn't slow anymore.
It's time for
yeah.
an Oops All Guys episode part 2.
Slow down, Mixie. Slow down.
She's just skipping the entire way, smelling the flowers.
She's the one double timing.
Doesn't even notice it anymore.
Oh, yes. So you all wake up. Nice morning sounds. There's birds chirping in the air. A little rustling off in the distance. Mixing Nicks actually quickly with you. When you do wake up in the morning, you do get the feeling that there has been something around watching you, but nothing has approached your camp. And you haven't been approached by anything the whole travel so far. So what are the rest of you doing?
Checking my guns and then putting out the campfire.
Of which
You're
is
probably
already
cleaning
out
up.
because of prestidigitation.
Every time I just I kick it, I go to kick and I get one kick of dirt and then I see that it's already out. And you hear me.
I thought you would know by now. I put flames out and I turned them on.
I don't respond.
He does do that.
I wait
time.
for them to get ready.
Like all
I'm
the time.
looking for any sign of Mixie Nicks on the road that might be left.
There's a trail of petals.
There's
It should just be you cutting through the snow, with your shield. You cut like a
make
line.
a
Like a visible rut.
Yeah.
Can I be like snowboarding on my shield?
Totally.
Cool.
Ooh,
You're
I like that even more.
Totally.
Double timing. She's double
She's
timing.
double timing.
We are
She's
never gonna
Like
catch up.
quadruple
We're
easily.
never gonna catch
She's
up.
getting to encounter
It's
snow
never happening.
and having a blast.
Can Smasher turn into a sled in this case, and then just these guys can ride? Just
You turn into a snowmobile, just with the tracks and everything. And we're like,
Smasher just needs to be a transformer from here on out. It'll be fine. Figure out the mechanics.
That is not an upgrade Cephas made. Speaking of, Deshane, make for me a survival roll.
I definitely will. That's one of my highest things.
Mm-hmm.
22.
22. All right, yeah, you actually find quite easily a trail that very clearly looks like Mixie Nicks's. You can see some flower petals were left for you guys to follow, and there's what looks like a nice kind of like a rut made by her and her shield, where she seems to be actually using the shield as a mode of transportation. You also, however, find there's a lot of other small tracks that are both following her and seem to have been watching you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up one of the flower petals. What kind of flower is this petal from?
Good question. Snow flower.
Give it a sniff.
Seeing him pick up the flower petal, can I walk over to him and do a nature check?
Could
Absolutely.
do a nature check as well, but whatever. Do it.
That's going to be a 22. 14 plus
Give me
8, yo.
one there's quite a few different snowy-like flowers out there. These are probably mostly hellebores, because that's the brightest one I'm finding. Bright pink.
Appropriate.
Mm-hmm. What specifically are you looking for in your nature check?
If it's poisonous.
Oh. Yeah, it's not tasty, but it doesn't look like it's poisonous either.
Bummer. I'm going to shrug and take the potion I made the day before, drink it, which has 2 random bones from the crate of bones that I've got.
Nice.
So I have
As
no
you
idea
do
what I'm
this,
turning into.
as you do this, I say, she went that way. Someone's following her, and someone's watching us.
Alright, good DM, what am I turning into?
Are you doing it now?
Yeah, I'm drinking it now and turning into now. Hopefully it's going to be something that has track-worthy traits to it.
Alright.
We'll see what happens.
Roll a percentage dice for me.
There. Ooh, percentage. How saucy. I'm gonna grab the ones with ducks in them. 83.
Ooh. All right, so one of those is a displacer beast,
Oh crap.
and the other one is actually a wolf.
Oh, that's good.
Dire wolf specifically.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh, all right.
Which one
Okay,
did you
well, I
just turn
can.
into?
I just turned into a displacer beast.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna stay as a displacer beast. This is nice.
A what?
Callus just turned into a displacer beast. Yeah.
Have we encountered these before? Is this something I should be like?
No.
Okay. Oh, so any form
don't
of
even
like,
know
what am I?
this
What
is.
am I looking at right here?
Actually,
You're
that
looking
counts
at
probably.
You're looking at what looks like a large 8-legged panther with tentacles off its shoulders and a long tail. I don't think they have fur, do they?
No, they are naked, but
They are
one big
naked.
thing of it is it does seem to be shifting from one place to another unnaturally.
Yeah, there seems to be almost 2.
In that case, as soon as Callus changes into that, Smasher's like,
Cool.
You hear snarling noises. I can't do snarling noises right
Can't
now.
do them this week.
I can't do them this week. But snarling noises. And then I nuzzle at Deshane because I am larger than you. And one of my tendrils wraps around you and tries to pick you up and put you on my back.
I'm just like, as you set me on your back, and I'm like, okay. And then I like try and grab onto something.
The tendrils
sort of-
wrap around and operate as seatbelts.
Okay. I just kind of like, okay, Smasher, are you ready?
Running pose. And my movement is 40 feet. Can you keep up?
Smasher
Sweet.
is.
my movement is 40 feet.
Oh yeah, he can
Fantastic.
keep up as well.
We're booking. Following them pedals.
Okay, I'm keeping a watch on the surroundings as best I can. As I'm like,
You, Deshane, have a pretty good passive, so I'll let you roll for a perception roll without taking disadvantage.
that's not bad at all. That's better. I can say that. 19.
19. All right. As you're going, you notice as you're leaving the woods and going more into hilly territory. First off, Callus is following the line that Mixinix has left quite perfectly.
Nice.
And the hills are starting to grow, so they're starting to go up. So it's going to end up slowing you down, Mixinix. You won't be able to quite snowboard up the hills.
That would be
However,
unnatural.
that would be. However, Deshane, you also notice that in a couple spots off far to the left and far to the right, it looks like whatever has been following Mixinix might have started doing the same thing she was. Because there's a lot of lines over there. But they're kind of small. They don't fit for they fit for someone Mixinix's size, but not for someone a human size.
I
Right.
retain that knowledge.
Mixinix, your morning. How would you like to start your day off?
Just going.
Just going?
I have faith that they'll catch up. I'm faster, but not fast.
They will at this point.
Especially with hills going up. I am short.
Yes, make for me a perception roll.
$17.
Perfect. All right. When you start off and start going, you also notice off to the far left and far right some of those same kind of lines ahead of the direction you're going now. And as you're watching, you notice a little green individual suddenly pop up out of the snow looking at you. He's a bit of a ways off, but the moment he sees that you're looking right at him when he pops out of the snow, he dips right back down in the snow, and you don't see anything again.
I'm gonna go to where he popped out.
All right. You make it there. You can count about 6 different lines heading south. And there was an individual that was in the snow, apparently, but he seems to have ran off further east.
Is there like a hole
Yes.
in the snow?
Yeah, it's a little caved in now, but it was like someone had been hiding under the snow and then popped up to check to see where you were and then dipped down and ran. And that's why it's all caved in now.
Not the weirdest thing to happen. I'm gonna go a little faster.
All right. And we're
Just
going
to kind of like keep the lines and see where they start.
Does
that make sense?
Yeah, they came from behind.
Mm-hmm.
So you
I'm trying to catch up to see where it is, I guess, where the lines are.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Perfect. All right. So you guys are going to go for about an hour before something happens. Let's see what that is. All right. Mixinix, this will actually happen to you first. You're going to find a spot where those lines all converge in another hole-like area in the snow. This one, however, looks like it might have been reinforced and looks more like an opening and less like a hole. It does, however, go into the snow rather than over the snow. You are also in very hilly territory, so it's getting pretty hard to... it's easy to shield board down, snow shield down the hills, but it's getting hard to go up the hills.
I'm jumping in the hole.
All right.
Apparently.
The moment you get in there, the first thing you notice is it does not smell good. It smells pretty awful. You also find a lot of what looks like refuse thrown about. There's a couple bones, mostly small animals, and a wooden spear propped against the wall with a little red ribbon tied to it. Whoever came through here stayed here the night before and then proceeded to go forward. And you see the snow gets burrowed through until it comes out again at the very top of the hill you're currently at.
Do I get the feeling that walking through the hole will be easier than, like, the hill?
Quite a bit easier, actually. There seems to have been steps put in place so that you can easily walk up it.
Knowing that there's a chance that they could catch up to me, I'm gonna grab the spear and, like, every 15 steps just poke up it above me and wave it for a second and then keep going.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna hop over to the other
You're gonna
thing.
get plucked like a carrot, just saying.
I'm gonna get shish kebabbed.
Yeah, plink.
All right, so first things first, you guys are following Mixie Nix's trail, and you get to a point where you suddenly see her head east. Not very far east, but she heads east, and she's now following the trail of what you had seen, Erlandriel.
Okay. Knowing that Callus sees this as well, I just pull one of my pistols and get ready.
All right, it doesn't take you guys very long. You approach the same hole that she had been in. As you are sitting there, hold on. Yes. I have a high enough passive. You actually notice almost near the top of the hill, a little red thing pops out of the snow, waves about a little bit, and goes right back in. And Callus, you can smell this this hole. This hole smells horrible.
I'm gonna insight roll on that huff, on that chuff, as it were. 16.
The hole smells like shit, man.
That hole smells bad.
Okay.
It also is a little too small for you, Deshane, and especially too small for actually all three of you because you're huge at the moment, Callus.
Large, just large.
Large, not huge, large. You're bigger than you're usually at.
I'm gonna pat Callus on the side. I'm gonna say, follow up the mountain to the red thing. Try not to collapse the tunnel.
But you know, with 8 limbs instead of just 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's him purring, folks, all the way up, because he's a good boy.
All right, as you guys
Scratching
reach
behind
the top,
ear and just like,
Oh, you gotta get those rubs, like, right above the eyes, like on the eyebrows, when they're just, like, and their ears go flat, you know?
adorable cat noises.
Adorable Callus noises.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, you guys get to the top of the hill, and Mixie Nix, as you pop out of the hole, you see a very large displacer beast approaching you with a Deshane riding it, and a Smasher running behind. No sign of Callus, though.
I figure by now the creature is Callus.
Yeah.
Deshane gets chucked off the displacer beast, like kind of shoved off, and the beast just runs right up to Mixie and starts nuzzling
Oh my goodness. Ah, yes. You're
Smasher,
adorable.
Shane takes fun. I'll dex save to catch Cat to get to Shane.
I was gonna say, you run up and you just see me come up, and the brim of my hat is like covered in snow. Like I'm just full on like covered in snow, and I have to like take off my hat.
Ah.
Yeah,
It was like a Shane angel just in the snow.
with a gun imprint.
And it would have just the hat. It would kind of have a halo, so it works.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fun time.
Glad you guys are all in one piece.
I say, and I put my hat back on and adjust it. Who's following you?
I don't know if I'm being followed anymore, or if I'm doing the following. But it was a little green head that popped out of the snow, and then I was in the snow, but I was waving a spear with a flag on it. Points at it, just in case you guys are catching up.
That's the exact red thing you saw us poke out of the hood, but wow, snow, by the way, Deshane.
I figured. Well then, let's keep following them.
Okay. So what happened with you guys?
I just
I
kind of
believe we met my father.
I feel like he should be the one to explain.
Ears slumped back.
I feel like I did.
Scratches behind the ear. What did I miss? I am so confused. The Illithid is your dad?
Oh no, the elephant's dead. Very dead. Like, very dead.
Okay, that's...
Yeah, that wasn't
that
an issue.
tracks.
Another one of better me? I don't like that. Another one of me came and fetched us, and we met Cephas up over,
Points to his like arm stuff and whatnot.
and I got an upgrade.
You're adorable. Ah,
All in all, wasn't a bad time.
that's good.
Also,
We're just walking.
we got a key.
A key.
Yeah, who's got a hold of that key? Because it sure wasn't me.
One of the legs
in
just
Callus's
goes up
bag.
and pats his side.
Callus has the key. It can take us anywhere we've ever been, I think.
Interesting.
So if we find a locked door and we put it in and think about a place that had a locked door that we've been, we can go there. As long as we've been there.
Skeleton key.
Did you test it out at all?
Me and Callus just shaking our head. The exact. Oh no, all three of us just like.
We'll have to try that out sometime. This gives me hope. This gives me hope, and with returning my library books.
The boys bonded last episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I learned how to snow shield.
Speaking of, you guys are at the top of a hill, and from this position, you can see that there's not much hill left before it turns into mountain. However, At the base of one of the mountains nearby, you actually see a sign. It's still a little bit off, but you can see the sign from where you're standing.
Do we see any of the lines?
All of them converge on the same spot, which is where that sign is. Words apparently seem to be difficult for me today, so bear with me.
You said they were green.
Yep.
Do you think there are
Growling noises.
muties in this world?
Sorry, you blipped out. Are there any what?
Muties in this world? Mutants. Green things live under the mountains.
No?
Technically, we're all mutants.
I mean, depending how you think about it, yeah, that's not entirely wrong.
I don't know, but I'll see you down there.
Walking.
Jumps on the shield and goes.
You see Mixinix just perfectly glide down this hill. Looks fun.
Pick up Deshane again, put him on my back, and then body glide down.
I too body glide down.
Well, the snow is pretty packed, so you guys do manage to do it. Smasher, it's a little harder for you because you are heavy. Now, of course, Displacer Beasts are also heavy, but...
I think if they stay
Yeah, but
on
I'm
my
metal.
track, if they stay
Yeah.
on my track, it's going to be compacted enough.
Yeah, by the time you get down there, Smasher, and look back up the hill, you can see there's
I would
a
like
nice...
to. I actually kind of
ditch.
like to. The cartoon in my head likes to think that he tumbled at one point and started into like build up his own snowball that ended up at the bottom.
Just with like hands and feet.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just rolled a 1%. We're going to say you did that, exactly. You guys get to the bottom, and I need... Mixinix, you're ahead of everyone, so you're fine, and you get to glide all the way. But Deshane and Callus, I need you guys to make dexterity saving throws quickly.
Watch out!
Nat 20 for a 24 total.
Nice.
14.
Nice. All right, so you both do manage to get out of the way, though mostly due to the fact that Deshane does a roll maneuver on your back, Callus, and causes you to roll out of the way of the snowball that suddenly smashes on the ground with a Smasher inside. Who
I grab onto your tentacles, and I like grip your body with my thighs, and I'm just like, and I like tumble you over with me.
Barrel roll, barrel roll.
A barrel roll.
Barrel
Do a barrel
roll.
roll.
Now I'm on my back and Deshane's just underneath me. Pinned in the snow.
At Nat 25, I got you all the way over like
Oh, yeah,
like a
just kept
skateboarding
going.
trick, right back on the wheels.
perfectly done, as all things should be. So yeah, you guys at the base of the little hill, heading off towards the sign. I take it.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, when you get there, the sign is written in Orcish. How many of you speak Orcish?
I can comprehend languages.
That will do. The sign says, "This way to safety." And it points up a trail. It's a pretty narrow trail. Callus, in your current state, you could traverse it. It would, however, be a little bit difficult for you because it's a pretty narrow trail. You also see a lot of signs of more refuse and bones.
Okay, I'm gonna check the bones.
They are small animals. You don't have to roll for this. They are small animals, mostly bird, some chipmunks, a few squirrels, rabbits.
I motion down the trail and start walking in that direction.
Doesn't that
push through?
following that trail mean that's where it's safe for orcs?
We're friends with orcs, remember? Well, I'm friends with orcs.
I don't know what orcs are. I say as I'm walking down the path.
All right.
Nixie's beyond confused at this point. And is now thinking, does he just think I'm a really short human?
I'm gonna let you get a
It's
little
okay. I'm
character
just a
secret.
really metal human.
No, you're a robot. As far as like constructs, is that you're just a robot. You were built in a factory. That dude is just an engineer that we met before. Some sort of magical engineer. That's
Then what's Callus?
some sort of wear changeling thing. But you work differently, and it doesn't matter. He just is just like, okay.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm following Mixie closely.
Right.
Staying as a displacer beast, though. Pushing my way
you
through
guys-
the path.
You guys do have to. You can't go side by side with Callus, unfortunately, but you guys can go side by side with each other if you wanted to.
I'll be in front, yeah. And then they can be kind of displaced behind me.
Perfect.
Displacer beast.
All right. While you are all going, make for me another perception roll.
Nixie's really struggling with this uphill.
15.
Ooh.
I should have just went with my passive.
Ooh.
11.
11.
24.
Ooh.
17.
Nice.
17. All right. So Smasher, Callus, and Mixie Nix, you all hear ahead of you what sounds like a little argument. Mixie Nix, specifically, you can, since you, how long does comprehend languages go for? 10 minutes?
An hour.
An hour. Nice. Yeah, you can actually understand what's being argued about. There's a group of individuals ahead that are arguing about the last meal of the day. It's not anywhere near the last meal of the day yet, by the way. But these individuals seem to be insistent. One of them seems to be insistent that the last meal has to be had right after the sun goes down, while the other one is like, no. All the animals are either in bed or gone by then, and only dangerous creatures are out. We have to have the last meal before sundown so that we can eat fresh meat.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Sorry. Continue.
Shane, you keep going without hearing any of this.
Okay, yeah.
I will stop.
Okay, do I notice that?
Yes.
Okay, then I stop and I turn around.
There's can I recognize what the language is? Does it sound like Orcish? Because I've heard that before. I know I can understand it, but
yeah, it's close to Orcish, but
not.
Not quite.
Here's a question. Do I recognize?
Yes, Callus, you can actually recognize this language. You've heard it
There's
before.
A very
it's
strong
Goblin.
guttural growl coming from the displacer beast.
Okay, I do another perception to see if I can do that this time. 12. Why don't I just go with my passive?
Since everyone has stopped, I'm pretty sure you're going to notice it at this point.
Okay.
Hey, Mixie.
Arguing about dinner.
It's still morning.
You told us about the green thing that popped up and down, right?
Yes.
Mixie? What's small, green, and sounds like an orc?
The growling intensifies.
Noticing this, I pull my pistols out and turn in the direction of the talking.
Goblins.
Goblins.
Here be goblins.
You
Will there
then
be an issue?
Some orcs, some goblins, yes. Some goblins, no. These probably.
I mean, to be fair, it looks like they're on the menu from what I'm seeing.
Pointing at Callus.
Then why don't we introduce ourselves? I say, and I walk in that direction.
If a displacer beast could smile, it would smile at that statement. As I too begin walking towards that direction.
Oh, I want to be cool.
Starts walking off with you guys.
I'll do my best to keep up.
Right. You guys, it doesn't take long before you reach what looks like a little bit of a ledge, and there's these two individuals, clearly goblins, sitting with their legs dangling over the cliff face. One of them's kicking. Go ahead.
How far are they from us?
They're about 10 feet from you now because you just came up and around the corner. Oh no.
Oh no, one of them. The one on the left?
One on the left. What kind of...
And I'm going to make a move for the one on the right, but I'm going to do something else.
It's a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
Story, you're killing Story immediately.
It might be, but it's a goblin.
So much lore. So much lore.
What's the AC, or the DC on that?
16.
Oh! They rolled a 16. Rolled a 17, but, -1 on strength, so 16. Your gust hits this individual, and he almost goes over the edge, but his friend catches him right before. He goes, "Oh no, look out, you're falling! I just got hit by wind!"
That's when I have rushed forward. My left gun is going to be jammed into him, but I'm grabbing the one on the right and pushing him forward. That way he has to hold on to his friend, and I'm holding on to him over the ledge. With an intimidation roll, I feel like that is what that deserves.
Does the displacer beast in the background with the tentacles pushing forward? Because I have a 10-foot reach.
Technically,
I can
that's a
actually
grapple check
assist with
first.
this if anything. Too.
Yeah, grapple check
I'm seeing
first.
if this counts as aid.
There's no need for a grapple check on this. You can just do the intimidation with advantage because you do have a Warforged and a huge or large displacer beast behind you.
Way more scary than me.
That's going to be a 19 to intimidate.
You smell what sounds like shit, and both of them go stock still. One of them grabbing onto your hand, letting go of his friend, who then scrambles and grabs onto your jacket. So both of them are barely holding on. Both of them are practically shaking in their boots, and both of them have defecated.
Okay. I'm going to say very calmly, now why don't both of you start talking and tell us why you were following our friend here?
Please be in pure goblin, please.
Growling noises.
Easy,
one-
Callus.
Grr, grr.
The one you're holding on to, Deshane, just blinks up at you with big eyes. His ears have fallen completely flat against his head, and you just see him shaking. The other one who's holding on to you goes, "We were told to keep an eye on you guys to make sure you're safe."
By who? And tell me.
The patriarch.
Explain, and be quick, or else I'm going to drop your friend, I say as I look down at the guy who's holding onto my jacket, and the gun's going to go right to his head, and I'm going to say, and then I'll shoot you.
Can I, at that, reach forward with my tentacles, wrap around the one that's holding onto his coat, and just pick him up and hold him over nothingness on the edge.
My gun follows him the entire way from my jacket to where he is, just not leaving like even an inch away from his forehead.
Guys, something about this doesn't feel right. This feels mean. Are we the bad guys right now?
As Mixie catches up, she's like, what? Why? Why?
By the way, the moment
I say
he
to
stops talking and starts screaming.
I say to Mixie Dix, I say, you guys said they'd be a problem.
Maybe, probably, not a yes.
Well, then make that clearer next time. Now start talking. I say without skipping a beat to the goblins.
The one you're holding on to is the one that responds this time. And he goes, okay, please don't drop my friend. Okay, so the matriarch, she has a really awesome village. Okay, more like a town. Actually, it's a city. We stay at, and it's up at the top of this mountain. And well, we weren't actually in this place, like, I think a week ago, and then suddenly we all appeared here. And yeah, anyway, she asked all of her goblin little fiendlings, all of us, to go out and keep an eye on you guys, so that when you guys start heading this direction, we can go out ahead of you and let her know. Please don't drop my friend.
Okay, I'm going to look at Callus and I'm going to say, put him down.
Poor choice of words, friend.
No, he didn't say let go. He said put him down.
I said, put him down. On the ground. I point.
Come on, Callus, put him down.
Much growling. Much growling. Tentacle doesn't move. Glares. And brings him back. And puts him down.
Bitches!
Okay, I'm gonna say to Callus, don't worry, they might fuck up in the future, and you'll get your chance. Because they're gonna get us in to meet the matriarch. Aren't you? I say while looking at the one I'm still holding.
The one that Callus puts down immediately passes out. The one you're holding goes, yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
Smart.
Definitely. Can you put me down now?
One more thing. Don't try and stab us in the back. Do what you're told. You might even get paid. And I set him down. Stop doing that.
Instinct.
And I put him down on the ground.
Yeah, he looks at Callus, the big displacer beast. Then he looks at the Warforged. Then he looks at you, Deshane, and then he looks over at you, Mixie Nixon, and you just get this like pleading look of hope.
Put him down. Let him come here.
I've already put him down. My guns are away.
Prestidigitation,
I
please.
feel no threat.
Yeah. Please. Kind of smell.
Prestidigitation, please.
Somebody's in beast form, and I don't have spells, so I don't know who you're talking to.
I can still cast spells in beast form, but I don't do it because I don't like goblins.
Can you do it for my nose, though? They literally pooped themselves. It
I don't have
smells
to worry
bad.
Use both my tentacles and slap them both in the rears and prestidigitate them clean.
That wakes the one that passed out up, and he goes, am I alive?
Yes, you're alive.
And he shits himself again.
I will.
And he passes out again.
I put him on my shield, take one of my ropes, tie it to the shield, and I just start walking with him.
The other one goes, all right, fall. Just don't stab us in the back, please. And then he starts leading you guys up the steps again.
I say, I promise I won't, but I don't speak for the rest of the group. I'm being honest with them. I'm being honest. I don't know what Callus is going to do.
They are steps, yes.
Okay, so when I'm tying the rope on, I'm also securing the goblin to the shield, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride.
A bumpy ride.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Oh, and I
yeah.
warned Pip.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna get bumpy.
You instinctively know that Pip has prepared for this and hardened his outer shell.
I have to remember, my shield is a living being.
While we're walking up, I'm going to ask the goblin who's conscious. So I assume you guys are more of a threat when there's a lot of you, right?
As he's going, you hear little snorts and whatnot, and he goes, prefer not to be a threat to anyone, because usually that means we die. But, I guess so.
Then
I'm a goblin lord.
how many of your kind are there where we're going?
Well, there were about, 500 orcs and, 600 goblins. But that's men, women, and children.
I'm going to look at Mixie next. Are orcs bigger?
Orcs are the people I was talking to outside. Yes.
Oh.
I pick up a rock.
Lorne! And his
then
sisters.
use my magical tinkering to do a text. Cross it. That just simply says, all goblins deserve to die.
Does it
Hey,
say
we all
it,
kind of
or
just
is
like
it just
take
written?
that.
It's just a text. I can't do a verbal thing.
Just a
It's just
text.
written text.
Oh, right, because you gotta be able to speak.
Yeah.
To do the verbal one.
No. A decent amount? Yes. All? No.
So I guess Mexinix is down for light extermination and Callus is down for full extermination.
I mean, if we're gonna start with the genocide, you might as well end the genocide, right?
Yeah. The
What
goblin
happened
leading
to you guys when I was gone?
I like to feel like that wasn't like fully canon talk right there. That was just me making a joke originally.
Yeah, the goblin leading you guys does kind of whimper a little bit.
Right.
Don't worry. In Goblin, I say, don't worry, I won't let them kill you.
And he responds in goblin, thanks. Why are they so mean?
I don't know who hurt them.
When Mixie says, I won't let them kill you, Smasher just kind of turns around, looks back, and goes,
Speaking of Smasher, actually, you do have an extra language, by the way. That update
do I
you
not
got.
have all of my languages? I thought I had it.
No, I forgot to give you another language when you got that upgrade.
Oh, I'll pick one. Oh, no,
No. It's what I'm giving you.
Oh, you're giving me a language. Oh. That'll be interesting.
That sounded so cool.
With
You
your
did that.
voice mod on. Oh, whoa. I'm gonna
That
say to the
custom
group,
language one is primordial.
Primordial?
Yeah.
What up?
I say to the group, because I know how many orcs and goblins there are now. Let's try not to go in aggressive.
Lorne's our buddy.
Wait,
We're also
met
not
Lorne?
from here.
Lorne and his
Maybe.
sisters.
Cool. That's the matriarch's son, by the way. And his sisters are her daughters.
Mexinix, you do the talking. The
Okay.
three of us will shut up.
I could do that.
It's almost about midday when he finally leads you up into what you see is a wooden, like, trees stumps wall. Not stumps, like full trees wall. And you notice that these trees were grown as a wall. They weren't chopped down and made into a wall, literally trees grown as a wall. And a massive 2-door with what looks like 4 orcs standing out in front of it. None of them look recognizable to you, Mixie Mix. But as the goblin's approaching, you hear him say in Orcish. So if any of you speak Orcish,
How long is this?
we already asked
Do I
you.
need to recast my
You're going to need to recast your spell at this point.
I do.
Because it's now midday. Okay. The goblin yells out in Orcish, "Hey guys, back! Please don't attack these guys. They're really scary."
I'm friends with Larn and his sisters
Oh, this
in Orcish.
will be fun.
This has
I
to be
think-
like really weird looking because I imagine this as being a very guttural language, and I'm just this little Larn.
One of the orcs turns and starts pushing open the doors. 2 of the other orcs take up posts on either side, and the 4th orc approaches, looks down at the little goblin in your shield, Mixie Nix, and says, "What happened there?" In common, by the way. He's speaking in common now.
He got scared shitless, literally.
And he claps his laughing. To which the other goblin's like, "Hey, that's mean." Oh, okay, that was good. He stands up again and he goes, "Welcome to Orkham. We're actually expecting you guys, surprisingly."
So we've heard.
Yeah, let me go ahead and lead you to the matriarch directly. She wanted to speak with you the moment you arrived.
Are
You
there a
can
lot
just
of
close
steps?
that one.
Are there a lot of steps?
At this point, no.
Is it like straight walking? Mixie's legs are tired.
Yeah, it's going to be straight into what looks like the city seems to have been built before it arrived in this mountain range. So when it appeared, it took part of the mountain with it, or rather replaced part of the mountain with it. So as you walk into the city, you notice that there's like a smooth, oddly strange carving out of the mountain side, where the city then rests inside it.
I
Can I
turned
get
to
a-
this. Go.
I was just gonna say, can I get perception on Mixie being tired so I can carry her?
I am gonna look for some goblins and say, "Can one of you take your friend?"
There are
Please?
a few goblins around, and as you guys pull into the city, the orc points at the goblin in your thing as you are saying that, and the other goblin looks over at you, Deshae, and goes, can I go now?"
I go like
Okay,
that.
go.
I'd like gesture him away.
He runs over to the shield, and a couple other goblins help him pull his friend out of the shield and drag him away.
I reach into my pocket and I pull out 2 gold, and I pink over in his direction. I don't care if he grabs him or not.
Can
But
I do
I'm
a
just
dex check to try to catch that before the goblins do?
Can you not allow him to do that? Can
No,
I
I
do
mean,
a
no, you can.
opposing dex check to see?
Well,
You're
roll
probably
your
gonna
opposing
win.
dex check to see how hard it is for him
Is
to
it a
catch it.
save or a check?
Check.
I need to know.
For you, save for Callus.
Let's roll, sir.
11.
21.
Oh,
They hit him like on the chest as he's grabbing his friend. It's like tink tink.
and Callus, your tentacles whip out to try and grab him before,
I growl at
Which-
Shane.
which actually scares all the goblins around who
I look at
Immediately
Callus
peeing themselves.
and I say, "I'm a man of my word."
I pick up another rock and a text goes across it. They don't deserve your pity. They deserve to die.
I don't pity anyone. And then I turn around and keep walking.
Yeah. Orc nods to you, Dishin, and says, "That was very nice. Very nice indeed. Out of curiosity, why does your displacer beast not like goblins?"
Not a displacer beast or whatever you just called him. I say it, I kind of like go like that to the name displacer beast, and I say, he's a boy.
The orc
A little
then
boy.
gives Callus,
I'm a real boy.
the orc then gives Callus a nice look over and goes, "I don't ever want to be on your
Arg.
bad end." And then
That
leads
would
you
be
guys
wise.
in.
I get the goblin out of the shield, and instead of handling, like trying to untie the rope and everything, I just shrink the shield and pull it up and start winding up my rope.
Which actually surprises a lot of the goblins, and they're like, "Ooh, oh, wow."
Grow, shrink, grow, shrink.
As you guys are
Shrink
going,
smaller.
you actually do have what looks like a large group of individuals who keep crowding the streets to see you guys. Most of them are looking at you, Callus. They all seem to know what a displacer beast is, and they seem very shocked to find one here. They don't realize that Callus is actually a person, not a displacer beast.
I'm gonna turn
the-
I
to
growl at all the goblins.
I'm gonna turn to Nixie next
They all
as
keep-
he's growling, and I'm gonna ask, "Are you sure they're not muties? Because the big ones look like muties."
I'm sure.
Are you positive there's no rogue sources of radiation?
Shane.
I'm
I'm like looking at him.
I do radiant. Damn it, radiation. Radiant. Mm-hmm.
Separate races, separate species. Shane. Separate, not the same.
Huh. And I turn around and I keep walking. I just kind of like turn from them as I'm walking.
The
Gonna
orc
Pick up
Go ahead.
Nixie Nix and put her on my back. And be very protective.
I just hug on and just. Are
Go.
you okay? You can shake your head no or not yes.
Growling.
Are any of them familiar to you?
That's a good question. Are any of them familiar to me?
make a history roll for me.
Well, history. I'm not proficient in it, but I'm smart. 11.
11. They don't seem familiar, but they are goblins. And goblins are familiar to you.
That, I use the rock and it just says they're all the same to me. Goblin is a goblin. They deserve to die.
That's problematic.
If I was a goblin, would you have killed me?
It changes to yes.
Nixie stops talking. Scratches your ear, but stops talking.
The orc.
That track.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just said that tracks.
That tracks. The orc leads you guys into what looks like a well-built, but the most plain of all the buildings in the whole city that you've seen so far. It is also the biggest of all the buildings you've seen, but it's right in the center of the city. And there are many orcs guarding around this building, all of them heavily armored, all of them with a battle axe. And he leads you directly in. None of them stop you guys from going in. Inside the building, it looks kind of like an arena, but there are seats set up in the back end, and a dais which has a seat kind of higher up than the rest of the seats. And sitting in that seat, you see an older orc lady, very well built, also heavily armored, with a massive, gnarly looking battle axe, one that clearly doesn't look normal, resting on her knee. Standing directly at the bottom of the dais is a rather fancy looking orc gentleman who has a very well kept hair and a clean goatee and burning orange eyes as he stares at you guys.
Can I do some kind of roll to see if I know orcish social graces?
Sure. Insight.
Come back here.
Smasher touches his axe a little bit, thinking about how inadequate he feels looking at the larger battle axe.
18.
18. You get the feeling that bow might be appropriate here. Not a deep one, though. More like a courtesy bow.
Courtesy bows, everyone.
Smasher.
Before she even said that, I just pulled the brim of my hat down.
I scratch your ear and say you don't have to.
I do all the same. No problem with orcs.
Yeah. The burning eyes gentleman smiles wide, and the older lady orc stands up from her chair, puts her battle axe on her back, and then climbs down from the dais and says, Welcome to Orkin. I was told by Lorne that you were here, and that you might have had influence from the first one. I am the matriarch. This is my mate, Guardian.
Long days and pleasant nights.
Long days and pleasant nights to you as well. And who might you lot truly be?
I look down and over at Mixie next.
Hi, I'm Smasher.
Shane, Callus, and I'm Mixinix Dazzlewizzle Shimmerpop, the first of her name.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure. So, what, other than possibly information, brings you lot to Orkin?
I was just kind of pointed this direction by Lorne.
Why?
And we're very, very lost.
Aren't we all at this point? Out of curiosity, the Displacer Beast is not truly a Displacer Beast, is it?
I look down at Callus to see if Callus answers. I'm not speaking for Callus on that one.
With that, I will pick Mixie Nix off, put her on the ground, and shift back to myself.
She looks over at her mate, Guardian, who is once again smiling wide, and says, "You were right," and then turns back.
Can I get some insight on these two?
Absolutely, go for it.
23.
23. You can tell she's clearly in control, but she holds quite a bit of respect every time she turns to her mate. So he must have some kind of power. And part of that seems to be in the fact that his glowing, burning orange eyes seem to pierce through you guys as he looks at you. But there is no ill intent coming from either of these two individuals.
Why do you ally yourself with such filth as goblins?
Not all goblins are filth.
Well, the ones I've
Just
seen are.
like not all orcs are filth. Though I can tell you, where we come from, quite a lot are. And I usually kill them. And you see actual rage in her eyes when she says that. Deshane, while you're doing that, and as you light the cigarette, you notice that Guardian in the back suddenly reaches into his coat, pulls out a tin, opens it, and pulls out a pre-rolled one. Also puts it in his mouth, closes the
I
tin,
light it before he can.
put it in his mouth.
No, I light it before he lights it.
Oh, perfect.
Essentially,
Well,
I just light it for him.
He wasn't going to light it any normal way. So when you light it, you see him nod thankfully to you, Callus. Because he knows you're the one that did it. But truthfully, the goblins here in Orkin, they are not evil. They followed me all the way from Eberron. And they continue to follow.
You shouldn't trust a single one of them. They're just gonna turn on you in the end.
She narrows her eyes at you for a moment and then goes, "You've been hurt by goblins, I see."
It's better to rid yourself the problem than deal with it when it becomes one.
One day you will have to learn, child, that not everything is a cover to be judged. Sometimes what is underneath is a little more than what is above.
Yeah, well, some of us have more time to learn than others.
She scratches her chin for a moment and goes, "What can we here in Orkin do for you while I prepare to get some of my own answers?"
Prepare for.
She smiles, and you see two goblins come in from the back, and they say in Orcish, "The meat hall's ready. We're almost ready for food too." "Yes, we're going to feast, and I figured that'd be a good time for me to ask some questions while you eat."
I won't feast with that filth.
"You won't have to, little one. They will not eat with you."
Eyes are trained on the goblins the entire time until they leave.
They do leave pretty quickly. They aren't afraid of you, though, Callus, because you're not currently a displacer beast.
Nah, I'm just a little boy.
Yep.
Have you heard of Lyra or Lovitar?
You see her shoulders kind of sag a little bit. "Lovitar and I have a long history. My sister worshipped her. I had to kill my sister. But Lyra, on the other hand, she's always welcome here."
In which I will finish my introduction. Priestess and not quite an assassin for the goddess Lyra.
"Welcome, priestess." She chuckles, and then you hear a bonging noise. And she goes, "Come, come, and turns towards the front entrance you guys had just walked in and starts walking that direction. Her mate, Guardian, likewise catches up and continues to smoke as he walks alongside you, Deshane.
Okay.
I turn back into a displacer beast as I move out.
I walk alongside Callus.
All right, she leads you out of that big building and down another couple of streets to another large building, not quite as big, but much, much more extravagantly decked out. The wood's been gilded in a couple places with what looks like copper or bronze, and there's a lot of livery around. Some flags hanging off of the building. They all look orcish in origin, so kind of archaic and rough and very sharp edges to this library. But it does look like this is a place for people to feast. And then she walks in, and as she walks in, she's joined by two others. One of them is... Whoops, wrong one. One of them is completely bald and heavily muscular. Like, really, really, really muscular. He doesn't seem to be wearing much, though. That's the thing.
Arnold
kind of
Schwarzenegger in nothing but a banana hammock.
Close.
And Predator
And
era Schwarzenegger,
Yes.
with the
The
facial
bodybuilding
hair
with
and
oil
yep.
everywhere.
No
Yeah,
facial
and he-
hair on this individual.
holding the machine gun with his bicep out. Just
He is that kind of build, but completely bald. No hair whatsoever seen. No shirt on, and his what he's wearing below is kind of like a toga almost, but half of one, just the bottom half.
So
And he
like
walks-
a loincloth.
Kind of like
Almost.
a loincloth, yeah. He walks very smoothly, almost like he's gliding.
Hot.
And as he joins you guys, he leans over to the matriarch and says, "Mother, Lorne has recently reported back from Kresk. They definitely need more support over there." Good. Provide it for them. Be sure to give them everything they need. And inside this building is a very long table with all sorts of food, all placed along it. You can see chicken, you can see other fowl, there's some boar, there seems to be what was probably a cow, and also deer, and then also vegetables of every kind. Please, join me. And she takes a seat.
When we walk into the room, there is like a visible like pause in Deshane's step as he looks at this table full of food. And he's just like, because he has not seen this amount of food in many years. And he just kind of looks at it for a minute. Yeah, just one. A man tear comes now.
You see many seats about, and she has at her end of the tables set up some chairs for all of you. There's a small one for you, Mixinix, that's easily table height.
You have a booster seat.
Yep.
And then she looks over at you, Callus, and says, "If you would like to prefer to stay in the displacer form, feel free. There's plenty of room."
I turn back into a boy and was like, "I've got questions. I can't talk like that."
Smasher goes and sits down at one of the chairs and scoots out and like pats his lap for Callus to come sit up.
Just spider climb up, plop.
She leans back.
Take off my jacket and my hat and the poncho that is the cape. The poncho, the jacket, my hat.
Grabbing my shield. Do you need anything to eat?
You feel it kind of shake its head no to you.
It looks at you.
What
like,
part is a shield's head?
That's a good question.
I imagine for purposes like there's the shield I've shown you with that sphere. It's like an actual sphere that like rotates now.
Yeah, pretty much. You also see
want
her.
to eat.
It shakes its head again. You see the matriarch's mate guardian actually go and prepare 2 dishes filled to the brim with lots of food, which he puts one in front of her, and then he takes a seat, not at the same table, but almost directly behind her. Feel free, dig in, eat as much as you want. There's plenty to go around. And
if
then
anyone wants to roll a perception or insight to see my eyes darting across the table as I go.
Smashers reaches in, starts grabbing grabs like big hunks of I'm assuming like manga meat, if you know what I'm talking about, just like large bone and grabs a couple of them and just like, yeah, I've been eating stuff and just like full bone and everything. And like handing them to like Deshane and like Callus. It's just like, hey, no, this is kind of
good. You guys also see me sniff like the meat before I go in, and I notice that it's like actual fresh meat. And I'm like, oh,
Meat's
I
back
make
on the
love.
menu, boys.
I make love to this food with my mouth.
Really well prepared food. Like, it's delicious. Seasoned to perfection.
Oh.
Clearly, whoever she has cooking for her is good at their job.
Is she actually eating?
Oh yeah, she's eating.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have to prestidigitate it. Good. It's already pretty good. Your cook's good at their job.
Thank you. And do not worry, Callus. My cook is an orc, not a goblin.
Good. Otherwise, you were about to see me projectile vomit all over your table.
That would have been horrible.
And at that point, Mixie starts like filling her plate with all the different vegetable dishes.
Deshane makes an audible noise of when he cracks open a fresh roll of bread.
Still warm.
Oh,
mist
exactly.
coming off it, yeah.
Buttered on top. Oh.
This is becoming a sexual experience for Deshane.
Yes, exactly.
For some people, food is.
Yep.
That's my wife. Sorry, back on track. Let's talk about this. Facts.
All right. So as she's eating, she examines each and every single one of you, and you get the feeling that this old orc lady, she's been around. She's met a lot of different people, and she's starting to like you guys.
Have I heard of Eberron before? The Reach of My Goddesses made it there. She's at least heard of it. So I'm curious if I have.
Make a history roll for me.
Hey! I'm not smart, but I'm proficient.
I mean, with my upgrade, would I know anything about Eberron? Considering that's where.
Oh, you know about Eberron.
22.
Yeah, you actually do know about Eberron. You have heard of Eberron before.
What would I know about Eberron?
Yeah, like
Because okay, so fairness, so separation, fairness. I have a campaign coming up in which I play in Eberron, and we're running like a really kind of a strict Eberron campaign coming up. So like I have a little bit of personal insight into kind of what kind of a place it is, but very, very minute. So like that's where my personal knowledge is.
I'd say Smasher's actual knowledge is pretty akin to your personal knowledge of Eberron then. Though you also would know that your design specifically for the type of Warforged, or rather robot you are, does actually come from Eberron. That is where Cephas got his ideas.
and what have I heard of Eberron?
For you, it would mostly be, you know, that your goddess has some reach and influence over there. There's probably quite a few temples and followers and worshippers of her in Eberron. And as you now also have heard, Lovitar has absolutely also made influence over there in Eberron as well. So the enemy is just as likely to be there as the ally is. Unfortunately, neither Callus nor Deshane have ever heard of Eberron before, so...
No, but Callus's creator has.
Yes. So,
What's there to drink?
There's, from what you can smell, lots of different meads. There's also a few different types of wines. One of them is completely clear and smells of strong alcohol. There's also several fruit juices and non-alcoholic drinks around.
Takes the clear stuff.
Straight for the alcoholic stuff.
Yep, takes the clear stuff, grabs a fruit juice, and asks for a cup. A big cup.
It would be super meta right now if my character went and got a glass of mead and then I left for 2 minutes just to go grab myself a glass of mead.
Yeah, actually, a younger orc lass comes in with several large cups that she puts on the table and puts one in front of you, Mixie Nix. And then she points at a red juice and says, "That's called pomegranate. It's really, really good." And then she walks off. Making a mixed drink.
Would we, walking through the space, I'm assuming there's been like doors around?
Oh, yeah.
Doors that have like locks on them?
Yes, actually, every door you've seen has had a lock on it.
Perfect. Just committing that to memory.
Is heavy-handed with the clear stuff over the juice.
That's technically vodka, by the way.
Oh, I figured. It's why I grabbed the juice.
What about gin?
There is no gin, surprisingly, but there's a reason.
Junipers are hard to find.
Scrub.
Juniper trees are hard to find, man. Just saying.
Oh, they have gin. They just save that for really, really important occasions, like after dinner. Or small meetings.
Or small meetings after dinner.
Or
If you
small
know what I
meetings
mean.
after dinner.
If you know what I mean, yeah.
Quick, small meetings after, yeah.
Mixie Nix, you are enjoying that, that's for sure.
Yeah. I love Faye coming on after the Oops All Boys episode last week. It's quite the energy, isn't it?
We had bonding moments.
Yes.
Yes, a lot of male bondage.
Yes. Indeed.
Yes,
At that, she makes another drink because she just finished the first one.
yeah, you also notice that this
Tries a
doesn't-
different juice.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be affecting you like alcohol normally does. And if you'd like, you can make a perception roll or go with your passive to find out why.
I want to roll for it. I've got a decent perception. 17.
You can see Guardian behind the matriarch, and his eyes every time someone, any of you, including the matriarch, drinks, his eyes flare a little bit.
In Orcish, I'd appreciate it if you let my drink do its thing, please.
And
Thank you.
he kind of looks at you, and you get in your head directly, and it's kind of a deep booming voice that I cannot do. But
Yes.
he says, "Oh, I'll let it, but after the conversation is done."
You have to understand, it'll take like 6 more of these to even get me going.
We have rivers full.
There
So
are
I'm gonna-
rivers of alcohol?
You can't actually hear him saying that.
Yeah,
by
it's
the way.
in mind.
He's speaking directly to her head.
But yes, there are.
Yes, that is literally what he's saying. Rivers of alcohol. Yeah, so as she's eating, she looks at you all expectantly and then says, "So, did you willingly come here, or did the first one drag you here unwillingly?"
Do they know of the first one? Because I know Mixie's had an experience, but I don't think I relate it, and I don't think they've, unless they had something in the All Boys episode, I don't think they've.
I think Cephas talked about it for a bit. But other than that,
The first one, I don't know that. Unless one of the other guys knows something or remember something I don't. I don't remember him saying anything about the first one, like not using that name anyway. Maybe like he spoke of like in what he was talking about, but I don't think he used that designation.
yeah, he might not have.
I say, Ka brought me here, and then you see the look in my eyes as I like bring over a platter of a food that I don't even recognize, and my eyes say, I don't know what the fuck you are, but I'm gonna eat you too.
A mix of disgust and like desire.
It's dolphin.
Exactly. Again with these dolphins.
What'd you say, Callus?
Oh, the thing he's eating now, it's dolphin.
Dolphin fin steak.
And that's why I don't eat meat. Oh, okay.
Pass it over here. I need some.
I was
What people
asked to come here by Lyra. But she was asked to send someone by the first one.
So
Interesting
willingly.
cat.
Yeah. Interesting cat.
4 eyes.
So he
Not as big as me as a displacer beast.
she nods.
Weird
solemnly.
looking blood.
Was walking on 2 legs, was wearing nice, like a suit, kinda?
He was on 4 legs with me.
It was a she. The first one's a she.
First one's a he. Oh.
First one's probably both or neither. Got it.
First
The
one's a
matriarch
they.
chuckles.
Got it.
So Ka, both of you two definitely came by the first one. What about you, my little warforged friend?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I can't say that you were dragged here then, because you were asked by Lyra, who was asked by the first one. And you... How did the first one ask you, little one? She looked at you, Callus.
He promised me many samples. And then gave me a sample.
So you have some of his blood.
Yeah, but it's not for you.
Oh, I wouldn't want it anyway. That would probably spell the end for me. What is Ka, Deshane?
Good luck. Nixie says she
Time
drinks
do we
again.
have? I say, and I look over at her, and then I look back down at my plate.
She laughs. What an interesting group. So, did he give you any... They, she, he... give you any direction?
I am supposed to spread joy across these lands. And punch Lovitarians in the face.
I will assist you with punching Lovitarians in the face. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Maybe you can help me with my right hook.
Yes.
Does an uppercut instead.
You have much to learn. My son, who you just saw, is actually well trained in combat of that sort. So if you would like some training, he would be the one to ask. You may call him Monk.
Okay, what was her name?
The
Did she say
matriarch.
her name? Yeah.
No, she just introduced herself as the matriarch.
Do you have a name beyond your title? Because some of these names I'm hearing are starting to sound like just titles, and I'm trying to understand what's going on.
Yes. I had a name once. But it was a long time ago. And I have since given it up.
We could give you a name. That's how I got all mine.
And what is your full name, little one?
Full name is Callus Will Shimmerpop, second of the name.
A pleasant name.
Yeah.
Mixie's like so like glowing. Like probably even like radiantly. She's just so happy. Like she's accidentally channeling divine energy.
Yes. Well, I go by the matriarch now, and only the matriarch. But my children, most of them have true names. You've met Lorne. He is currently in Kresk with his sisters Grok and Nath.
Mm-hmm.
Sisters. And I have one other child here, Muzz. Muzz Firefist, to be exact. She's a bit of a wild one. She's somewhere. Probably, she looks back at Guardian. Probably chasing wyverns if she can find them.
I'm sorry, did you just say wyverns?
I did, yes.
I don't have a sample of those. Can I have one?
She looks across the table and then points at one of the meats that's in the middle towards the back and says, "There's some meat with bone of wyvern over there. You can definitely take that if you'd like. Otherwise, we'll
Climb
make
onto the
sample."
table, go over and just pull out the bone, take the meat,
That's a wyvern bone.
look at Deshane and say,
You should try this. It's good.
I grab it out of midair and into my mouth.
There is a kind of almost sourish taste to it, but not a displeasing sourish taste, because
It's got
whoever
a
cooked
funk
this,
to it. Yes.
Like a
Yeah,
little bit
whoever-
of lemon sour, yeah.
yeah, kind of like a lemon sour. Whoever
Mm.
cooked it definitely cooked it in mind that this is a predatorial beast that has poison, and and has played the flavors in such a way that it is quite delicious.
I think it's fair that Deshane's dexterity goes down for a long night until a long rest after this meal. For at least like a point or two, I'm just saying.
My con saves go down. Yeah.
And he gets disadvantage on con saves. He's just stuffing himself with everything right now.
Surprisingly, no, actually, the
Right.
the feast you're currently eating is actually making you guys feel better.
Like heroes, maybe?
I need a hero.
Why? Yes, actually. When you guys are done with this, you'll all be under the effects of a hero's feast.
Oh, that's never good. Never good. Nothing good follows a hero's feast.
Especially seeing
What
as
are
it
you
lasts
talking about?
after a
We
long
just-
rest and it lasts for 24 hours. I'm a little scared now.
I mean, what are you talking about, Libby? Libby and oh yeah, wrong campaign. Sorry, Mixie. But we only saved an entire universe and fought a red dragon under one effects of one hero's feast. So it's not like DMs throw terrible things at you when that happens.
Yeah,
that would never
the
happen.
end of a universe.
Our DM would never do that to us. Like I mean,
Never.
our DM, look at
Remember
him.
that
Look how
dragon?
cute he is. What? I don't know what you're talking. No, look how cute he is. Like he wouldn't do that to us.
I'm related to him.
You-
He absolutely would.
Yeah, I know you know me. And you know I would do that. And I call that one my twin.
I do.
So
I do it, and I'm your spirit animal, so I think we're all gonna do it. That's probably
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. Anywho,
Anywho,
tangent, sorry.
the matriarch sits there and goes, "So, knowing you are here, partially due to the effects of the first one, other being Ka and unknown, though now that I'm looking at you, Smasher, I can't help but notice you have some etching on your side."
I was just about to ask, can you read these roots?
She smiles. To a
And if you
degree.
Say yes, I
but
have to
not
find a
very
notebook.
well. I have some knowledge of them. But truthfully, the runes are... They're for someone else, not me. So tell me, Smasher, who made you?
My creator was Cephas.
At his name, she kind of leans forward and goes,
And that's around like a partially full mouth, by the way. It was like, because I'm chomping on bone too. But it comes out clearly, because I don't need my mouth for my voice, so like it comes out clearly, but like...
She leans forward and she goes, "Have you met Cephas?"
No.
We just came from him.
God damn it, Smasher.
What?
Cephas isn't entirely a person most people would like to keep alive. We probably shouldn't tell them we met him. But the truth is out now.
Oh,
Yeah,
I haven't.
she hasn't.
she hasn't. That helps, right? That helps. No?
The matriarch looks at you, Callus, and goes, "You're not wrong. If I were to meet Cephas again in person, I would definitely attempt to take his head. But I'm not stupid enough to go looking for him. He's
that's probably for the best.
That's probably for the best, because he'd kill you.
he's one of the many who could.
That bone, that walk.
But if you've met him and walked away, then you aren't harmed by him, were you?"
Depends on what you mean by harmed.
You helped me a bunch.
He
Mixie's
seems,
attention is fully on Callus right now.
yes. She looks at you, Smash, and goes, "You seem to have been created by him. But when you say what you mean by harmed, Callus, what do you mean?"
Some truths are not meant to be heard.
Cephas, the reason I want to take his head off is because he's incapable of truly not doing things for his benefit, even if they harm others. If he told you a truth that you probably should not have heard, he did so that he could get something out of it.
What did he say, and where can I find him?
If he wants to get the truth out of it, then we need to be following him.
Yeah, she thinks for a moment and goes,
Because I'd like to get
And
the
you-
truth out of it too.
Can you find him again?
Depends.
On what?
You. I'm not entirely convinced yet that I can trust you.
She nods. Understandable. Trust is something that should be earned. That is for sure. And she looks back at Guardian, and you kind of see this look between the two of them. Almost like there has been something between her and Cephas that has probably affected the family.
If we find him again, what are you gonna do? You just gonna kill him? Or are you gonna give him a bit to talk?
I can't adjust
Smasher's
my
eyes are focused on you, by the way. Like, as soon as he asks the question, like, Smasher's eyes are, like, fucking dead focused.
I can't change my focus from stabilizing the region right now. So, any assistance I give you in finding him again will be without me personally.
What about Red Eyes?
She looks back at Guardian, and he smiles, and then Callus, this is when you hear in your head, directly from this individual, the deep booming voice. Cephas and I are long past needs of a conversation, so talking would happen first.
I'm gonna reply in my head.
If you talk to him, what do you need to find out?
Or as to the why, and less as to the how.
I need him to find someone first. Before he dies.
Do you say that in your head, or do you say that part?
I say that in my head. I don't want Mixie to know any of this stuff. You kidding? She's Mama Bear.
Yeah, he nods. Very well. If I were to find him, and not be with you in the process, I won't kill him.
He needs to find whoever made me first. Then I need to find them. I've got 2 years left. At best.
Yeah, Guardian actually looks between the four of you before answering you, Callus. Though he says this out loud rather than in your head. Very well. And he leans back.
I pull the key out. If we get your help, we'll help you with whatever needed. At least I will.
Callus, we're not letting them go and find Cephas and kill him.
Just a talk. We need answers too.
We can go back anytime. That's why we have the key.
Yeah. But he made you. He knows how to undo me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he could
Undo
kill
you?
Deshane easily.
I
And
say,
Nixie.
and look over.
We need their
I'm
help.
on like my 5th roll by now, and I'm buttering that bastard.
Smasher's gonna put his hand around the key and just stare down at Callus, like kind of narrow eye. He's got a narrow eye. Deshay narrow eye. Callus.
Not giving it to them. We're the keepers of the key. But we need their help for answers.
Questions need answered.
Matriarch nods and then looks at that key and says, I don't think I'm quite familiar with what you're holding in your hand.
And
Did
we'll
he
leave it
give
that
to
way.
you? Very well.
Gonna try to tug a little bit.
Putting it away now.
I already like him.
By the way, when you were holding that key up, anyone who would like to can make a perception roll to see, or if you're looking at Guardian, an arcane roll to see what kind of spell he just cast.
Oh, I'm
That's a
definitely
nat
doing
20.
Arcana.
So,
Nick's nose.
I rolled a 4, so 15 for Arcana.
That's really good still. Smashes
I rolled a 2 in general, so I don't. It doesn't matter what I tried there. It's a pretty much a failure. So like, pick one in which I fail at. So like that'd be cool.
yeah, if that one's got the Arcana, I'll take the Perception.
Okay.
Ooh,
Makes
I've
a lot
always
more
got the
sense.
Arcana.
Deshane consumes another roll.
I'm mid-bite on this roll.
Right, so he cast an Identify spell on the key. I don't know why I forgot what the word key meant was.
Twisty thing that unlocks doors.
Yeah, it's the twisty thing that unlocks doors.
The,
A knob.
the line of islands off of the Floridian
Yeah.
coast.
And
Isn't that a toll? No, I'm kidding.
Type of lime.
as you put it away, his eyes track it the whole time.
I'm looking straight at him. And if he makes eye contact with me, I will think, not say.
I won't hesitate to kill you if you try to take it.
Just see him grin big, and then it seems like there's a laugh building in his diaphragm, but nothing actually vocalizes. And you see that there's no mirth in his eyes.
You even attempt to hurt a hair on this kid's head, and you're gonna have a problem.
That would be problematic in many other ways for me. And he looks over at the matriarch, who is at the moment currently leaning against the table looking back at him with an almost disapproving glare. Behave, mate of mine.
Oh, behave.
And she turns back to you guys. what can we do to assist you then? Specifically in your goals, Priestess, and yours, Callus. Deshane, if you have a goal, Smasher, anything that we can do for the four of you.
Mixie pulls out of her bag a giant lump in a sheet. It clanks, it clangers. It's the armor from like episode 2 that we got off the werewolf.
Karn.
What do you know about this?
The matriarch, as she's staring at it, she's smirking, but like with her mate, there's no mirth in her eyes at this point. Her mate, on the other hand, has actually stood up so violently that he knocked back the chair, and you see him snarl down at that armor.
Instinctively, without taking my hand off the roll that is in my left hand, my right hand has gone to the butt of my gun as I'm like, from his like standing up really quick. I've just been
Still
like,
moaning while eating a roll.
oh, yeah.
I mean, moaning.
No!
Can I get a, oh yeah?
Oh yeah!
Oh
Yes.
Oh no!
Oh
no!
Oh no, oh no.
yeah! Oh my!
oh my.
Oh
Oh my!
Right,
The
shall we
matriarch
continue?
looks up at you, Mixie Nixon says, was someone wearing this when you found it?
For as much as a dead werewolf can wear things.
A werewolf was wearing it. She picks up one of them and starts examining it. This is a new contraption. I've not seen it used before, but I have heard about it since getting here.
It's kinda alive.
Yes. And also a tormentor of sorts. From what
Makes
I have
sense.
heard from my scouts, there are several groups of packs of werewolves that are led by individuals wearing armor such as this. Every such pack endeavors to destroy everything they come across. And
Under the
often will...
name of Lovatar.
Yes, under the name of Lovatar.
Should have seen their faces when I said her shit was weak.
Oh. Oh, I wish I had seen their faces when you said that. It would have brought me such joy to watch as they snarled in fury and then met their end. You can see her starting to get worked up right now.
The
She's
one,
Mixie's still drinking. Has her drink started to take effect yet?
Nope, not yet.
the one wearing that
She's
one almost
glaring
died.
at Red Eyes at this point.
What was
Can
that,
I-
Gals?
Can I two things? But first, can I sense the tension between Mixie and Red Eyes?
Yeah, Mixie's not hiding it.
Okay.
Red Eyes is currently focused on the armor, but he also doesn't seem to be paying her any mind right now.
Okay. The what I said was the one wearing that armor almost died in. How many shots did it take, Deshane?
If I remember correctly, 4. Maybe less.
It was rough. For them. Beautiful for us.
Good. And then I hope you tore this armor off his dead body.
Sure did. Hey, Red Eyes, whatever you're doing to Mixie, you better stop.
He looks at you, Callus, and then rights his chair, sits down again, and says, as soon as we're done talking.
You best stop now. She's not very good when she's angry.
There's a flash of fire behind his eyes.
For a
And then you
moment,
get-
my eyes shift to the all black of the Displacer Beast, and you hear a guttural growl.
You
Neither am I.
Can I
You get-
cast magic awareness?
Yeah, the
Sure.
divine light around Mixie just shifts. It's not as welcoming.
So what's
So-
the school in which he's casting through?
He's using healing magic, right? now.
Right.
And
Which
you
is,
also notice there's
necromancy.
illusion. In this case, it is literally healing. Like it's not really a normal school of magic. It's just a healing kind of magic he's using, and you can tell that he's connected it to all of you except for you, Smasher, because you don't need it. You also notice there's illusion magic around him, like a lot of illusion magic around him. Like he is pretty much inundated with illusion magic.
Alice? He seems to just be healing everyone.
Her battle axe is also like hugely magical, of a very chaotic sense.
Smasher, what does healing do to people who are trying to get intoxicated?
Make them feel better?
Yeah, it stops it. Since when have you
Oh.
ever known Mixie to be not intoxicated?
That's true. That's
I've
true.
only rolled bad once, and that was intentionally too, actually.
Mixie does like to drink.
Makes her
That is
happy.
Whenever the talk's over,
He's taking her happiness away.
The
he's
matriarch
also the
is
one providing
watching
it, to be
guys.
fair.
Yeah, well, I've got a jug that can provide it too.
The matriarch then looks over at you, Mixie Nix, and says, "My apologies. I did ask him to keep you all from getting drunk before we finished this conversation. But if you would like, I will have him stop."
It takes a lot to get me there, so...
It seems like there's a lot around, though, Mixie.
4 gallons and she still wasn't there. I mean, it's
That's
impressive.
true. She drinks a lot. At least her body weight.
The matriarch kind of waves to her mate. And you then get in your head, Callus, and almost like... Hold on a sec. Wait, what languages do you speak?
Abyssal, Common, Elvish, and Primordial.
You don't speak Draconic.
No.
So you don't actually understand what he says when he says it, but it sounds gnarly when he says it.
I just do
Wait a
It
this.
second.
says something to you.
You did say that I got primordial is what you gave me?
Yeah, you
Was
have
that in-
primordial now.
Was it
Okay.
in his head, or was it out loud?
It was in his head.
So you just see me do this for no reason.
However, his eyes flash again, and that string of healing magic that was connected to Mixinix Smasher is immediately gone.
That should be better.
That should be better.
Thank you.
Let's go 4 more down.
I know you don't understand fully how we work and operate, but
save.
that's gonna have to be a thing. I appreciate your understanding.
What did you roll?
Nat 20.
You're fine. 4 more cups of mostly vodka juice, and you're fine. Still. This is very strong alcohol too, by the way.
It might be twice her body weight.
I lean
Yeah.
back in the seat and I unsnap the button of my jeans. And I go, ah.
Immediately start sleeping, like dad style.
Exactly. Just start nodding off.
Shane's like, yes, this is good. I
That's a
need.
huge compliment to the chef.
It is. The matriarch then looks at you, Mixinix, and goes, "Priestess of Lyra."
We know how to party. And keep our liquor down.
So I can tell you there are at least 12 more suits of this kind of armor out there in Barovia at the moment. I don't know who's providing them, but I will find that out soon enough. And once I do, I intend to go on a hunt and end them.
What have you learned about the werewolves in the area?
There are 3 factions, from what I can tell. Though one said faction is only one werewolf we met Lorne met recently in Kresk. I believe you may have also met him.
My buddy.
Dmitry Kreskov. Then there are those that wear this armor, and those that follow them that wear this armor. I don't know where this faction rose from or why, which is what I intend to find out and end as soon as I can. And finally, there's Vlad. Vlad and his packs. From what I've learned, 3 years ago, he tore through Barovia, destroying everything in his path. And from what I have found of his histories, this is not the first time he's done so. At least, it is the first time he's done so in Barovia, but not the first time he's done so in his life. I've yet to meet him, though, and I have yet to find out why.
One more question. Were you the one pulled here that pulled everybody else, or was it somebody else? Did the people in place follow you, or were you following something else?
The whole city was pulled here, and not willingly, that's for sure. The reason I ask whether or not you willingly came by the first one's orders or unwillingly is because we were not willingly pulled here. Now, was I the target? That's a good question. I feel a connection between myself and the first one. But I don't intend to follow up on that feeling, because I don't intend to ever deal with the first one. If possible. We're here now, and if here is where we are to stay, then we will be as helpful to the people of Barovia that are left as we can be. And hopefully make a better name for orcs here than in Eberron.
You would have had a grand old time where I'm from, as long as you stayed out of the city. But where I was,
Sounds pleasant.
it was good. Had
She
its
looks
issues.
over at you, Callus, and says, I do intend to make a better name for goblin kind as well. But you don't have to worry about that if you don't want to.
I don't think it's much worth the effort. You'll never make a better name for them for me. They killed my mother, so they all deserve to die.
She narrows her eyes for a moment and goes, Where are you from, little one?
I think I vaguely remember someone saying the word Dagrafilm.
Place I have never heard of before.
I know
There's
the
a lot
city
of that.
Mool.
Callus, that brings up a great question.
Mhm.
Were there any doors there?
Oh yeah,
Doors with locks?
plenty. Plenty in the city of Mool. Not where I'm from anymore. Goblins destroyed it, so
Oh.
nothing left there. Stinking
jeez.
green filth.
Organized goblins are usually working for someone.
That's very true, actually. Goblins have a hard time organizing on their own.
And they're just used as puppets.
Most of the time.
And puppets are useless.
Only if you don't intend to lead.
In the wrong hands, puppets are dangerous. In the right hands, puppets can be entertaining or helpful.
We can also get a lot of research from puppets from time to time.
I want to insight that so hard, please.
Do it. Do it.
My die is rolling hot tonight. Let's go.
While you guys are rolling that, Guardian sees you pull that out, Deshane, and you see him reach into his other jacket pocket and pull out a very long, elegant wooden pipe, which he then stuffs with tobacco from another tin in the same pocket area. And he doesn't light it, but when he starts taking puffs, you can see it's been lit.
Okay. I barely even register what I see. I say while they do their checks, we're all puppets. And I sit back, still relaxing.
Shane says past his food coma.
Yep.
22.
Enjoying that after dinner cigarette.
Yeah, I rolled a 14, so I'm going to shoot you a message.
Love it. So yeah, at that point, the matriarch looks at the armor at her feet again, and then looks over at you, Mixinix, and says, "Would you like me to dispose of this filth, or would you like to keep it for a bit longer?"
Anybody want it?
What are you asking about? Sorry.
Yeah.
I was.
The stabby, painful armor from the werewolf. That's
the
alive.
Iron Maiden armor.
I think it could be interesting to use for... Never mind.
The matriarch looks at you, Callus, and says, I don't suggest using this armor for anything, because it will strengthen Lovitar and her goals.
Do we know what the living aspect of it is?
What if I melted it down and used it for ammo? I say 100% seriously.
Your bullets might start talking to you. Or hurt
Yeah,
you.
That would be kind of cool.
And you could have a bullet that says the name of every victim as it kills them.
Yeah, Guardian.
Why is Callus so fucked up? Sorry. Anyhow, let's go
Good
back.
question. We'll find out soon, I'm sure. Not today, but soon. But the Guardian actually looks over at you, Deshane, and you see him thinking in his head for a moment before he leans close to the matriarch and says, "You know, he's actually got a good idea. Why not bring it down to make bullets?" And the matriarch goes,
It depends on what the living aspect of it is.
as Mixinix points out.
But if it works like silver bullets,
It would be beneficial.
any sort of ammunition, even for you and yours.
You see her snap her finger, and a moment later, an orc soldier comes in, heavily armored, huge battle axe on his back, and she picks up one of the pauldrons and then holds it up to him and says, "For the sake of learning more, take this to the artificers. Have them make ammunition out of it. See if they can learn anything in the process."
It does move on its own. Warn them. I don't know how much or how far, because I caught it, but
Yeah, she holds the pauldron out for the individual and he grabs it. And as he's walking away with the pauldron, the rest of the armor starts to slide that direction.
If they
And you
need
just see
any,
her put her foot on the breastplate.
if they need any arcane or alchemical help, let me know.
Yeah, looks at you, Callus, and she goes, I have a feeling our artificers could probably teach you a few lessons.
I have a feeling I could probably teach them a few.
Undoubtedly. You turn into a displacer beast. I've never met anyone who's turned into a displacer beast before.
It's kind of fun. That is the first time, too. Hey,
Impressive.
Smasher, what do you need?
Honestly, I just like being here.
Do you want a big axe? Do you want a bigger axe? Do you want an axe like hers?
He looks back at her axe, kind of reaches back and kind of touches his.
There's I actually gonna need insight from all four of you on her. See how well she hides this from you guys. 1.
3, my lord.
Naturally.
3.
14.
24.
All right, well, obviously Smasher and Cows don't pick up on this. Deshane, what you pick up on is the moment her axe is brought into question, her hands twitch, just ever so slightly. Mixinix, when her axe is mentioned, you get the distinct feeling from her that she has suddenly become very overprotective of it.
We don't want yours. We want something like yours. Possibly.
My
Right,
apologies,
Smasher?
priestess.
It's,
I don't-
Oh,
no,
I couldn't possibly take yours. I just... It's so much
I don't-
bigger.
I don't intend to be so protective of my weapon. It's just instinct at this point.
we all have our things. Maybe
She
we
nods.
could find a way to make your axe bigger. Maybe they have a way to do that. And you can keep your axe and it can just be bigger.
Yes.
I do like my axe.
I do really like my axe. It's radiant now.
It's a very nice axe.
Thank you.
Puts it back.
So, Mixie Nix, you are here for Lyra to spread joy across Barovia, which Barovia does truly need. Callus, you came at the promise of more samples. However, do you... I take it you intend to find out more about yourself now that you know of your time frame. Do you need anything from us specifically to help you with that?
Not from you. Not right now. And I don't need any more samples anymore.
He nods. Any help we can give, we will. Deshane,
I need research.
she smiles again. We have a library, Callus.
A
If
very
you'd like, I'll have-
specific kind.
I'll have someone take you there, and you can see if we have anything on what you're looking for. It's open for you to peruse at your leisure.
Thanks.
Deshane, do you need anything from us?
Not yet, but maybe in the future.
More food.
One hand washes the other.
More food.
She nods, and then
This is the most agreeable he's been since I've met him, actually. So
she leans forward and says to you, Deshane, we would be honored. And then she leans back and goes, for now, you are all very welcome in Orkin. We will gladly find a place for you. Smasher?
Smasher perks up all of a sudden.
Oh, you're from Eberron. Do you know anything about upgrading Warforges?
Your mod was on, then he turned it off.
Oh, did I turn it off? Okay. Sorry, it's the sound.
The sound that comes through my ears is what triggers tells me which voice I'm in. So I just heard it wrong.
You're from Eberron as well. Do you know anything about upgrading Warforge?
Our artificers and smiths are quite prolific at taking them apart. I'm sure they could find ways to help you upgrade and possibly have parts for you if you would like.
Chalice? You want to get to work? I've been hesitant, but I feel like you've been willing to tinker.
Do I get to finally open you up?
I'm immediately off
Let's
his
do it,
lap,
buddy.
pulling his hands like, let's go, let's go, let's go.
You see her click her fingers again, and as you're pulling him towards the door opens and another guard starts to walk in, and she just goes, "Take them to the smiths and artificers. Inform them that this warforged would like to learn how to upgrade." And the orc nods to her and actually guides the two of you out.
And the player me is just happy that Callus is not completely dark and he's smiling again.
Mood shift.
Then the matriarch leans in again. Her foot, by the way, has not left the breastplate. And she says, "If this ammunition actually works and isn't something that ends up providing Lovitar with power, how much would you like, Deshane?"
Ask that again. Sorry. I zoned into my character sheet. I'm so sorry. My brain was just like, whoa.
He pulled a Ben.
Yes. Yes, I did.
If the ammunition that pauldron I sent off works, how much would you like from the armor we will be collecting?
I pull out from my belt one of my bullets, and I'm like pointing at like the tip part. I say, "Get me a few of this size. The rest is yours."
She reaches her hand out to accept the bullet.
Mm-hmm. I give it to her.
Very well.
You don't have to deal with the casing or the powder inside. Just the bullet.
You see her, without even looking, toss the bullet behind her to Guardian, who, without even looking, catches it. And then he stands, waves his hand, and Smasher's gone, so obviously he's not going to see this, but essentially he ceased using the healing on you, Deshane, since he would cease it on Callus the moment Callus walked out the room. So now you can get drunk, Deshane.
Okay.
And then he will pick up the armor of Lovitar, and the Iron Maiden armor is what it's called, by the way, and leave.
Okay. I'm gonna hang out with Mixie Nix here at the table. If she's gonna be sitting there drinking.
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely 5 more drinks past my first 4.
At this point, actually, several more orcs come into the meat hole, essentially, and start feasting as well. And since Callus is gone, so do several goblins. One of the orcs that comes in actually ends up replacing the matriarch, who excuses herself from the table and also leaves.
Before she leaves, Mixie does stop her.
Okay.
You ask what you can do for us. What do you need or want from us?
Yeah. Looks down at, actually kneels down to you, Mixie Nix, and she says, "The fact that a priestess of I just forgot your goddess's name.
Lyra.
Lyra. The fact that a priestess of Lyra is here is already a huge help. The fact that you're here for your job already assists us. So essentially, in us assisting you, you are already assisting us. This is a mutually beneficial assistance.
You know what a mummer is, right? The scarlet mummers?
I have met a couple before. In passing, and I did have to leave quickly before they killed me.
Mixie pulls out from like in between some of her armor bits a rose.
The matriarch nods. I see you are one.
Yeah.
You aren't here on a job for them, are you?
If I had my choice, I wouldn't be one. But the choice that led me here, I can't regret.
She then puts a hand on your shoulder and says, Lyra has a strong priestess in you. And then stands and leaves.
Strong. Right. Dunk. I think it's just straight vodka at this point. She's stopped adding the juice.
Probably.
She's slightly frustrated that the magic hasn't completely worn off yet. Is what she's thinking, because she's not getting drunk.
Yeah, at this point, she is replaced by two others. One who has one eye that is kind of burning, much like Guardian's was, and the other eye that looks almost exactly like the matriarch's. She sits down and immediately throws her feet up on the table and starts drinking with you. And the other one is the monk. Or monk, rather, who takes a seat next to you, Deshane, and starts to eat as well.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye on Mechanics. Making sure if there's going to be those two together, then there should be us two together. If we're going to split the party.
Party.
Hey, that's always a good idea, right?
You know.
That's always that's what you're supposed to do in these games. You're supposed to split the party. That's no.
Wait, hang on. It's ATPD. There you go.
ATPD.
I thought it was TPK. Sorry.
As the party does. All right, so quickly scooting over. Actually, if you'd like, we should take a quick break here.
We should.
Yes,
We're 30 minutes past break time.
This is a good point to take that.
That was a very good long
Sweating over here.
conversation. And can I just say, now that we're breaking, Chad is on fire today.
That was a fun time.
That was a beautiful conversation.
I'm going to have to watch this episode again because my brain has forgotten most of what Vaughn said in order to accumulate the chat.
Natural DM, yeah, I was able to spur both of them and stay engaged with both at the same time.
Not me. Dumb player sitting here. I
Got into my
one-track mind. That's why I zoned out on my character sheet.
That was beautiful stuff. Wow.
That's good.
Anyway.
All right.
Anyway, break time, yeah.
Yep.
Bye, folks. See you in 10. Bye.
So we're back now. Nice little thing to point out, that community challenge actually succeeded, raised it to 20K. One shot is a go.
If you're not part of the Discord, become part of the Discord. There will be an announcement in there later.
Is there a command for the Discord?
There is. There is.
There we go. Yep, Discord.
Oh, nice.
Check that out.
2 done.
Anyway, so yeah, back. You've got Deshane and Mixinix still in the meat hole, drinking away and eating food. They've been joined by the current only 2 children of the matriarch in Orkin. Let's go ahead and hop over to Smasher and Callus, who are being led to the smith area. As you go, at this point, goblins are making a point to avoid you, Callus. You actually don't see any anywhere as you're going, and there's 600 goblins in this city, so that's a feat.
Good.
Yeah. He brings you over to this area that the heat actually picks up. There was snowpack on the ground up until you get to this point in the city, where suddenly it's dry dirt. It's a hotter area. There's clear forges around the whole spot. And when he walks in, he looks around, and you can see what looks like artificers, smiths, even alchemists, and some other trade like orcs walking around. There are actually goblins here still working. They don't seem to pay any attention to you guys whatsoever. The orc flags down a younger looking fellow who has a leather apron on and tools all about the apron. And that fellow comes up and goes, "How can I help?"
Well, first off, you can help by getting the goblins out of here.
He looks at you confused only for a split second before he rolls his eyes, obviously, and says, "Let's just go to an area where they're not, because they're working right now and they'd prefer to stay working." And he takes you into a building nearby, which has a forge in it and nobody else inside.
Good.
So how can I help?
Smasher, are we gonna need to tie you down?
Why would you need to tie me down?
Defense protocol. In case I trigger it?
I don't know that will be an issue.
Oh.
The artificer starts looking you up and down, Smasher. Are we making adjustments to you, my Warforged friend?
Smasher does kind of like a flex. He's like,
I want to get strong.
He laughs, and then he looks at you, Callus, and he goes, "And you know your way around the tools?" Which, this is pretty familiar area for Callus, I would assume.
I may look like a child, but I'm probably better at some of these tools than most.
Yeah, the orc nods and goes, "There are many times where I've been surprised by individuals who look like they probably wouldn't know what they're doing, but clearly did. Well, you can use this forge right here for sure. If you'd like some extra hands, I can be present and help you, or I can go and get some others as well. I take it no goblins, though."
Absolutely no goblins. We're definitely gonna
Very
need
well.
materials.
Yeah, looks towards the back of the room, and you can see there is a display of different types of chunks of metal. Mostly iron, but you see some copper and some tin in there. And then there's also some stranger and rarer looking metals. Callus, make a perception roll for me.
Can I do
or if
an
you'd like,
investigation instead?
yeah, I was gonna
Can
say
I-
if you'd like to,
can
if
I-
you'd like
can
to
I help?
investigate more. Yeah, go for it.
Can I help for?
Yeah, with advantage.
Oh, good. Oh, definitely good. All right, that's gonna be a 23.
Nice. Yeah, there's some gold, there's some silver, there's some platinum, there's even mithril actually in the back there, and on top of all of that, you can see a strange chunk of it's almost a black metal, but you've never seen this type of metal before, and when you pick it up and look at it, you almost feel like you are staring into a void.
Black metal.
What's this?
That's cool.
The orc looks at it and goes, "We refer to it as void metal, but truthfully, we only refer to it as void metal because it's like you're staring into a void when you look at it. We've not done anything with it yet. It's pretty prevalent in this mountain range."
That seems pragmatic.
Mm-hmm.
I have ideas. We're gonna need the mithril for sure, or that one.
Pointing at the what? Say adamantium?
Adamantium's there, yes. You do see it, and mithril. No, there's adamantium there. There's adamantium and mithril and platinum and all. There's pretty much every type of metal you can see there. You know of.
The void would be dope.
What could we use the void for?
The orc starts prepping a lot of the forge area and stoking the fires and making it nice and hot.
I'm thinking new metal, new carapace for you. Doing the void metal for the carapace would be interesting.
I don't think the void metal would work very well on my axe, as it's already radiant.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Maybe some silver around the axe and the edges. Doesn't particularly like to take, but there might be a way we can integrate it into a metal. Make it more beneficial against the werewolves around here.
Is adamantium... Does adamantium have any silver properties?
Innately, Callus, I think you would actually know this, but the answer to that question is actually yes.
Yeah, it does. We could use adamantium then, actually. We could make you a bigger, better axe. Maybe one that integrates into your own body that you could... Ooh. That would be interesting.
Gallus, I really want a big axe.
Let's make you a big axe. I'm also thinking we should make that catapult on the back as well. Definitely get that installed.
Battle axe.
I was thinking that, like, if we ended up having some... What do I call it?
What do you call it? It's not fairy fire, mage fire. It's in a bottle.
Alchemist fire?
Alchemist fire.
Alchemist fire.
I think that would be a great deployment mechanism for alchemist fire.
I also had a very fun image of Mixie getting launched out and then using her shield as a board. And just...
So many things we can do. We can shoot all the things off of Smasher. It'll be great. I'm a diving board now.
Oh no. Smasher's getting upgrades.
Alright. Let's get to work. First things first, we're gonna need to take some measurements. Then we can forge a new carapace. It's probably a little... No. Hey, helper dude.
He turns to you and he goes, my name is David, and I have another friend who actually is quite good at working with Warforged. Would you like me to also have him come and assist us?
That'd probably be a good idea. We got a lot of work to do, and probably not too much time to do it, so...
And I will bring as many hands as we can have.
If you got a smith who's good at making weapons, definitely bring them in too.
Perfect.
Because we're going to need
But
to
no
make a better
goblins.
axe. Just no goblins.
Just no goblins.
If you bring any goblins, I can't be held responsible for what's going to happen to them.
Please, no goblins.
All right. So he turns and leaves, and then a couple minutes later he comes back with several more orcs. The room fills up pretty quickly, not crowded, but there's definitely now working people in this building. The one that specifically you wanted for the weapons comes over to you, and you see strong, big arms. He's actually not green as an orc. He's a black orc, and he's bigger than the rest of the orcs. And he looks down at you and he goes, "Am I making up an axe?"
Yeah.
Good. I like making axes.
Ask him for specifications.
He turns to you, Smasher, and gestures like a tough guy.
Am I doing it right, Dallas?
Yeah, that's pretty convincing.
Really big. Like really big. I think.
Biggest, the best, and the baddest axe I've ever made, I will make for you.
Yes.
And he saunters off massively, and actually leaves this building and goes to make the axe in a different building.
Completely deflates.
You did good. I'm pretty sure he was pretty intimidated by you.
I didn't know I kind of blow up like a puffer fish. I didn't know that was a self-defense mechanism. Learning new things. We're learning, Callus.
Learning a lot. Right, let's get this
Yeah.
carapace off. I'm going to start dabbling with your insides to see if I can increase your reflex rates at strongness.
Another orc comes over to assist you, Callus, and you can see that this orc is much skinnier, though he's still very much muscles everywhere. He also got more of the artificers like tools, like tinker's tools and thieves' tools and leatherworking tools like you do.
I have
on
an
him,
all-purpose
and,
tool now, don't I?
Yes, you do, actually. You
Oh.
have an all-purpose tool you got from Cephas, exactly. And if you're using that, the guy's
am.
impressed by it.
I'm
He's very
using it.
impressed by it.
I'm also climbing like a spider all over Smasher, not using anything to lift me up or anything.
It's literally a tool that's made to be used on me,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Callus, actually, you notice as you are using it on his carapace, there are flashes of arcane energy that are being disassembled. And you realize this tool is specifically designed for this.
Kind of look at him like,
You know, I think Cephas is going to die in the future, but he did some good work.
I told you I had a good feeling.
Me too. Now let's just see if he can find what I need him to find.
Please don't kill my dad.
Any
I
rolls
won't.
I have you do, you will be doing at advantage. You won't need to do any rolls for taking the carapace off, though. When you do take it off, Smasher, you feel very vulnerable and so many times lighter than you were. The carapace itself is quite heavy, and now you are mostly gears and pistons and inner workings. And stuff.
I feel so seen.
Uh-huh.
with him requesting that I don't kill his dad, I'd be like,
I won't kill your dad as long as you promise to kill mine.
That sounds doable.
Cool.
Oh my. There you have it. All right, let's see. We're gonna hop over to Mixie Nix and Deshane quickly here, and then we'll have you guys do some rolls. So, back in the mead hall, the revelry starts to pick up, and you actually see a couple fights break out. None of them look like angry fights; they look like jovial fights, like something actually Mixie Nix you would have seen in different places during like festivals and whatnot. People getting overly happy.
Yeah, as things break, I'm mending them, just like, yep, nope,
Yep.
nope,
Yep.
been here. Nope, got that.
You actually notice the individual sitting next to you is doing a very similar thing. Anytime something breaks that you don't immediately mend, she also will mend. And you also notice that every orc and goblin in the area gives her and Monk a nice little, they give them room, essentially. Almost like they don't really want to get too close to these two.
Party
Deshane
too
just
hard?
assumes it's him. He's so used to it that it's just like,
Oh.
It must be me.
So you guys party too hard, not enough party killers.
There's a chuckle from the young lady next to you, and she goes, "No, they're just a little concerned about upsetting us, seeing as we are our mother's children."
Ah. Where's the fun in that?
"My name is Muzz," she says as she looks at you and goes, "and I 100% agree with you. Where is the fun in that?" She downs the whole thing. And she's now making any drink that you make, she's going to make the same kind of drink and drink with you.
You've got, like, at this point, like 15 drinks to catch up, sweetheart.
Oh, that's going to be a while. I'll start off a little slower, I think, but I'm definitely going to pick up.
That's not including the ones your dad didn't let happen.
She then preps 3 mugs in front of her and drinks all 3 of them down, one right after another.
while this is happening, I've pulled over 2 glasses, and I take out that high-class whiskey. I unscrew it, and I pour out enough to sip on, and then I slide one over to the monk, and I just sit there and watch both of them without a word.
The monk takes it, nods to you, and also starts to watch. A grin at the corner of his mouth, and slowly sips at his as well.
Yeah, we watch.
She downs all of them and manages to keep them down. But something tells me Mixie Nix is going to beat her.
It's a lot to drink in a short amount of time. She's gonna...
Yeah, she didn't roll terribly well either, so...
Don't hurt yourself.
Probably going to pass out before too long. Yeah.
Slow it. You don't have to catch up right away. Literally has her hand like on top of the next drink she goes for. It's no fun if you pass out.
She goes,
slow it.
"You're right." And then she takes a huge hunk of meat and starts tearing into it. By the way, when you notice her grab that hunk of meat, as she lifts it off the plate, it was already still steaming, but it looks like the temperature of the meat went up several degrees as she brought it to her mouth.
She cooked it a little bit more to her liking.
Mm-hmm.
More carcinogens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The monk is just going to watch, and after watching the 2 of you drink for a while, he's going to lean over to you, Deshane, and say, "This will be the first time, but I have a feeling my sister's going to lose."
I was thinking about placing a bet, but it looks like you're smarter than I gave you credit for. And I give him like a slight grin
Yeah, he
without
looks.
like really looking at him.
Yeah, he looks around quickly and he goes, 10 gold. My sister wins. And you hear from across the whole of the meat hall, 10 gold on the little one! 10 gold on your sister! And people start making bets.
Okay.
And then he leans over to you, Dishen, and goes, I don't actually have any money, but anyone who loses is going to give it to you. Trust me.
I kind of like shrug my shoulders. All right, yeah, okay, sure.
I'm not one to disappoint an audience.
And neither is Maz. There's a drinking contest going on now.
Yep.
Too bad I'm not like a class with magic, or else I'd really help you out right now.
I don't even guidance myself for these things.
She doesn't need the help.
Bless.
Make a con save, Mixie Mix.
You're not gonna believe me.
It's another nat 20.
You're not.
You always
gonna
roll
believe me.
nat 20s for the drinking. It's hilarious.
Always,
That
except
one
for the
time.
one time where I wanted to get super drunk and wasted.
Story
It's
nat
not just
20s
this
are some of the
campaign.
best, though.
She does this in other campaigns as well. It's something about con saves for drinking. Like, just it happens. It's not fair. It's not funny. It's not right. But yeah,
It's hilarious.
Real life abilities coming through to my character. That's all.
Yep. Muz is managing to continue drinking excessively, but she's definitely not going to keep up with you, Mixinix. You are going to kick her butt. Let's go ahead and switch back over to Callus and Deshane and Smasher so that you can do some rolls for me.
I'm leaving it on the happy drinking time sound because I just found it and clicked on it, so it's staying there.
Oh, yes. I like that.
Right, what am I rolling? I'm looking first
what
off.
am I rolling?
On your new tool set, which you are proficient in.
Yes. I'm trying to adjust his gears to make him stronger.
Perfect.
Let's see. What am I rolling?
Roll on your tools.
Okay.
Tinker's tools.
Yes. What do I add to that?
Your proficiency
Uh-huh.
and intelligence.
Oh, good. Okay.
So +8.
+8. No. All-purpose tools, they usually come with a +1 as well.
This is going to be a +9 then.
Okay, cool.
At advantage.
Oh, delightful. Come on, ducky dice, don't fail me now. Oh, don't fly out of the rolling tray. Okay. 25.
Oh, 25. Actually, that is going to be able to... You are upgrading Smasher. Smasher, your strength just went from 14 to 15.
Yes! Strong boy!
100% will take it.
Strong boy!
Doesn't quite give you +3 yet, but you're one step closer.
Hopefully he's not about to break.
I have never been this apart before in my memory ever, so that I feel very naked right now. I feel very
Very
seen.
vulnerable.
I'm seeing parts of my body that I haven't even seen before, as far as I know. So, like, this is a new experience for everyone involved.
After a...
Those holes where you didn't know there were holes.
Lots of
We're
them. And
filling them
screws
all.
where I didn't know. We're not going to talk about that.
We, eventually, like, after I make a couple adjustments... Okay. I think that's gonna do some good stuff there. I climb over to a block of wood, hold it, and actually, hold it up to one of the orcs. And, do you mind holding this plaque for a moment?
The orc will hold it for you.
Awesome. Punch the plaque.
He will hold it out as if he's done this before, because he actually has.
I hit it. Unarmed strike is just, what is that?
+5 for you.
A +5? Okay, so do I roll the hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really easy to hit, so. Unless you roll a 1.
No, I rolled a 3. What do I get? Plus,
plus 5
you
is
said
7.
+8?
5.
Oh, +5, so
3
like 8.
3 + 5 is 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is actually going to be enough to hit.
Oh, good.
Because he knows what he's doing, so he knows to put it where you can hit it. And with your strength, you are going to actually break the wood. He'll look at it, and then he'll look down at you, Callus, and he goes, "That was pretty good."
Yeah, that's without the carapace on, too.
No kidding.
It's gonna be good.
So you're making the carapace out of the void metal, right?
Yeah. I'm curious to see what it's gonna do, because losing your eyesight into it, I want to see if people have difficulty looking and seeing Smasher when he's got that void, when he's basically just a walking void.
Right. All right. Yeah. So, do you want to make any other adjustments to Smasher before you start working on his carapace?
I want to also see if I can tighten up his body in general to possibly also, this may be asking a bit much, but also increase his constitution. How durable he
That is
is.
the hardest one to increase, but there's always a chance. Always a chance. So roll
There's always
with
a chance,
advantage.
baby.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Uh-huh.
Telling me there's a chance. That's all I need to know.
Here we go. That's a shitty roll.
I think it's at advantage.
Dog shit.
Ah,
Dog shit roll.
not as good. 21.
21. Unfortunately, you can tell that as you're tightening and working on his constitution specifically, you can tell he's built for constitution. So there's not much room for improvement there.
Yeah, your dad knew what he was doing in that part. Okay.
But while you're doing it, you do notice there's a couple places you can adjust to make him a little more spry. Raising his dexterity, essentially.
Maybe.
And I'll start tinkering.
Them spring tensioners need some
Spring tension needs some
springing, you know what I'm
adjustments.
saying?
Need a little additional pep to your step.
Also, go gadget boots if you could find them.
Go gadget boots. Ooh. Is there... That just gave me an idea as well. While I'm thinking about doing the deck stuff, I'm gonna look around and see if there's anything I can use to do a bit of a chemical fusion that would give him a boost. Essentially like a booster rocket.
Huh.
Like a once-use item type thing where he can boost himself and propel forward or propel upwards.
You trying to make me a flying fighting
I'm trying
robot?
to
I
make
love
you
you,
a flying
Callus.
fighting robot.
Oh, you know what? Rolls are very important in this sense, and wow, the dice want to say yes. So
The dice gods are with us.
you do. The dice cards really are with you right now.
Okay,
You do.
quick question. Did
The
you just
Iron
roll a
Giant.
percentile dice?
Yeah, and I rolled a 100%.
Percentile dice. So,
No, you.
percentile dice love me whenever a DM's rolling for it. For some reason, they always roll in my favor.
Yeah, I was like, anything 90 and up, I'll say yes, and I rolled 100%.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, there's you can see materials for this. In fact, a lot of the artificers have brought in more materials, which you can tell could be used for such a thing.
I want to make him a rocket man.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be wild. All right, roll for that dex quickly for me.
Right, ducky dice, serve me well. All right, that was not so well. Do a little better, please. We love you. We love you, ducky dice. You're adorable. That's a 17.
17. It's not quite enough to get you one more point in dex, but you do feel more spry and more agile after Callus has worked on you. So yeah, there'll be that. And then you wanted to try and make some rocket boots, didn't you?
Yeah, rocket man.
See what happens here.
The anime fanboy in me, the absolute otaku in me, is just like nerding out over that. Okay, with this, I need to get the charger feet.
Find out. All right. Roll another one of those tinkers for me, Callus. This time, though, it's not as hard because you actually have artificers here that can help you with this as well.
Some assisting. I'm like standing there, little child, ordering around orcs who are bustling around this warforged.
They're all twice your size and
apart.
There's a lot going on right now.
All right, that's much better. Okay, we'll deal with just the much better and not that too. 25.
25 is really good, actually. Yeah, you make rocket boots, basically. I think the best way to point this out would be you get the charger feet.
Oh, I was thinking I'd get extra movement or something. I'd be like, next time I get a feat, I need to get a charger feet to put on top. Okay.
Well, there's more. There's more. There's more.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh.
I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're turning you into
get
a badass.
Yeah, you get the charger feet. You also get 5 more feet of movement.
Ooh.
And at the once per day, recharged after a long rest, which for you is more like a short rest of just not doing anything for a bit, you can move an additional 10 feet of jump after you've ended your turn, essentially.
After I've ended the turn?
Yeah, basically at the very end of your turn, if you would like, once per day you can move another 10 feet, and it's a jump.
Got you. Okay, got you. Yes, I'll notate that. Thank you.
I'm also making a note of all the upgrades, by the way. So in case you miss one, we'll have notes to compare.
Good.
How's the audience doing while they break the game? How are you folks at home doing?
Right? Like,
Enjoying this game breaking? I'm about to go just upgrade all of my shit too, since this is apparently what we could do.
Hey, Callus has been offering to upgrade your guns this entire time.
I just figured Eberron, like, they're from Eberron, I'm from Eberron. Like, maybe you'd, like, know things about this, and Callus has been in this dark place and would love to, dig in, so I'm like, why don't I just let him tinker around? I didn't expect I'd get, like, yeah, never mind.
Upgrades, people, upgrades!
An artificer in the same room as a warforged.
Yep.
With everything they need to upgrade.
Uh-huh. All right. Any other adjustments before you work on the carapace?
I think at that point it's like,
we don't have that much time and I need to work on other things first. Carapace, they're currently smithing the metal into it. Let's make that catapult.
The catapult. All right. Roll a roll a check for me. We'll start at the base.
Okay. You beautiful thing. It's gonna be a 27.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh wait, no. 28. That's
That's
plus 9.
You know, you talk about game breaking, but you like one shot everything we come in contact with, Deshane. So I wouldn't even be talking about being game breaking. If I were you, I'm just saying. If anything, Callus and I are playing fucking
Callus
catch up right
upgrade
now.
you too.
We're
I'm
playing
about to have
Deshane
Callus
right now.
upgrade.
Dear Jesus.
I am just a source of bless right now.
Hashtag bless.
Hashtag bless.
heal.
I was doing it on
Alright,
the other
start-
campaign the other day. It was real bad.
All right, so you start working that catapult, and you find, since the carapace is now off of Deshane, you can find a lot of points in which you can
mean
add little.
Smasher?
Sorry, Smasher. I keep saying Deshane for Smasher
Ma.
for some odd reason.
That's my name.
That's my name.
You find a lot of spots where there can be just inserted into Smasher a nice spot to hook this catapult onto, so that the carapace can go over these spots, and you can just hook it under the carapace, and it gets a nice, perfect spot on his back.
Just upside down at some points, inserting bits. If you feel these rods just get inserted into your body at locations.
I imagine it feels very ASMR.
Ooh, yeah.
Just the perfect fit.
Smasher, this is a spa day for you. You feel like you're at a spa. You do
getting
feel
worked
vulnerable, but you're like
I
at a spa.
feel like I've gotten used to it at this point. It's just like, oh yeah, just slide that in there.
Oh no.
Not quite like that, but kind of.
Oh no.
Moving on from that.
Oh dear.
Yeah, the orcs assist you in building the catapult as a whole. What kind of a catapult are you trying to build here, by the way? I heard possibilities of launching people.
It's a platform on the back that has a spring load that will spring over his head and launch whoever's standing on top of it forward.
Perfect.
Essentially,
Kind of like
I
the
want to
platform
be.
you jury-rigged.
Yeah, I want to be on his back, and then whenever combat comes by, be able to pull a lever and get sprung into action and be this little boy flying through the air that turns into a large animal and scares the bejeebers out of everyone.
So basically, it's an ejection seat, right?
Yeah, it's like
he
an
has a
ejection
seat
seat.
back here, and as soon as he pulls the lever, it goes pling, and just
Yeah.
Launches him forward.
Yeah.
Up and forward. Perfect. All right,
deploying
you,
small people. Mixie, load 2.
You,
Reload. Deshane, you're next.
you actually you get built into him a nice little kind of pulley system as well to reload this kind of launcher, so that Smasher can essentially put it back in place without any assistance at all.
Oh, perfect. And I just had another idea. This is dangerous.
Uh-oh, what's this next idea?
I would like to put a small faucet, create a bit of a hole in the center of his chest, so to speak, to be able to load a projectile inside of it that he can activate and shoot essentially a cannonball out of his chest.
All right, make a roll for me. This is going to be very, very, very difficult, though.
If I ever needed a natural 20 ducky dice, this is where you're gonna give it to me, please. Is this still at advantage?
It is still at advantage, yes. You do, however, get a little insight from some of the artificers stating that to really remove parts from there is difficult and tends to drop the integrity of the Warforged. But the dice always give you the possibility of it being done. So
Then perhaps I might be able to twist a bit of arcane sense to it. Instead of having to put powder inside of it, do like enchantment on the inside that will magically projectile.
kind of like a more magical kind of launcher rather than a.
And if it wouldn't work on the inside of him, I would ask they design the carapace to have a little faucet inside that can shoot whatever's then there out.
They start looking at doing, actually, so go ahead and make that roll.
If Ka wills it.
Car, please be with us. That's a nope on that bit.
It's not always on your side.
I know, but I really want it to be because that would be dope. Alright, I rolled a 16, so plus 9 is 25.
25. Not quite him himself, but maybe the carapace can. Maybe the carapace can indeed.
Not enough room in you.
It'd be a little easier on the carapace anyway.
Let's try the carapace. Hey, shift the design of the carapace. I've got an idea.
Some grunts and some thumbs up from the orcs as they're working the forge.
My man's trying to put a cannon into my chest.
I am. I'm trying to turn you into an Iron Man.
Very interesting. Alright, so let's see. We've got catapult, upgrades. Anything else?
I guess I just need void armor on, unless you have other crazy. I mean, we could probably do this all night with Callus's brain.
We could do this all night with Callus's brain. It's a matter of
He
time.
needs to get to fixing other people's stuff too.
I think with how much we've done right now, we've probably used the majority of the time we have.
Yeah, they are getting pretty close to the end of working this carapace.
It's whenever you activate it, skeet skeet, motherfucker.
Yeah, skeet skeet.
Skeet skeet. That's good.
All right. So they actually redid the whole carapace. They still have Smasher's old carapace on the side, but they have made a brand new one essentially. And in the chest, they have put designed a kind of compartment that you can actually store munition in, basically. However, these individuals aren't quite as skilled as Callus is when it comes to the arcane. The artificers, possibly, but they're at a loss for what they could do here, because they're more used to black powder devices used to launch things in this kind of manner, and they can't quite get a black powder device in the chest piece, or really, they could easily put one arm-wise, but it would make your arm a lot bigger. And the carapace you can see
for Axie time.
Yeah, and the carapace you can see now. When you go to fit it on Smasher, your size is actually going to go up by 1 level.
He's going to be large.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Make for me one more roll for the carapace to see whether or not you can get that compartment to be able to launch whatever is put in it out like a cannon.
Would this be an arcane?
If you would like, you can do an arcane roll for this one.
I would like to do an arcane roll for this one. Arcana. Also because my Arcana's better than the other one. It's plus 11 instead of plus 9.
This would be much more arcane than anything.
The joys of taking a feat that gives me expertise in Arcana. Alright. That's not working there. It's still at advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
They may not be quite as skilled as you are. They are still capable.
that would be a 24.
24. You think you actually get it. You don't know for sure until you try it, but you think you actually get it capable of at least launching something out of the carapace. Chest piece.
I look up afterwards, while still kind of like upside down a little bit on his chest, look at one of the orcs and say,
Hey, we need target practice. You mind getting one of those goblins?
The
I'm
orc
kidding.
looks directly at you and says, no, but we have something better.
It was a joke anyway. Thought it'd be funny, but at the end of after I finished saying it, I realized I was actually quite serious. Something else would probably be better.
I laughed on the inside, Callus.
Thank you.
I load a chunk of metal into it.
Okay. I suffixed it to a certain command. Do you speak primordial?
Yes.
Okay. This is what you need to say in primordial.
Thank you, Ethan, for the suggestion. I say to him in primordial, skeet skeet.
Skeet skeet.
Skeet skeet.
Skeet skeet.
Before you do that, the target they actually direct you at is out in the yard. It's starting to get dark, so a lot of people have left. There's a big kind of beast-looking. It's a dummy, but it seems to be moving. It's not a robot by any means, but it does seem to be moving. Roll for me, Smasher, an attack roll, which we are really going to have to work this one out, but it is going to be at disadvantage, unfortunately. But I think you're going to have a plus. It's going to be at +5.
I don't think that matters.
What did you roll? Oh,
It'll be 6.
Everything I just did gets broken.
no. You do feel a shiver run down your spine, Smasher. It's been a while, but you feel it.
Been a while.
Been a while.
And then you burst in flames. They're not hurting you.
Precipitation, it's gone.
And now they're gone.
Okay, that didn't work.
The bullet did not come out.
That's gonna need some tinkering. Okay, maybe in the future. Don't use that feature for now.
I feel like this was a me thing, but okay.
One of the orcs, while watching, kind of goes, "Try something lighter," and he hands you a glass bottle. This is not at disadvantage.
Plus what?
+5.
13?
13?
Rolled an 8.
All right. You do actually launch it out, and it hits the target. Kind of barely hits the target, but it does actually hit the target, and you hear a nice shattering sound.
See, I just needed to get the hang of it.
Nice.
Might need some calibrating for heavier objects, but lighter objects should be good.
Hey, Callus, do you think we could shoot you out of this?
I have ideas.
Anyway.
There is more to the Void Carapace than just that. One thing you will notice, Callus, while you're standing next to him and watching him, it does seem like your eyes can't quite fully focus in on Deshane. Deshane, I did it again. Smasher. And Smasher, you now have advantage on your stealth rolls.
Very nice. Now we just need to get Mixinix to have advantage on stealth rolls.
You
I'm at
gave me
nothing-
advantage.
nothing
it
like
would
a sneaky
be a straight
barbarian.
roll. I have disadvantage.
Sneaky barbarian.
Sneaky barbarian.
barbarian.
Perfect.
Nice.
And you are harder to passively perceive. But that's a DM thing. I'll keep track of that one.
Why is there a child floating in the air?
All right. Anything else you wanted to do on this part? It is pretty late at this point, so a lot of the orcs have actually called it for the night and have started to head to bed.
Not on him. I would like to go and find the alchemy lab.
All right. If you
So-
ask one of the artificers, they can lead you there.
Okay. Before I go, I'll look at Smash and be like,
Okay. I think that's all I've got for you right now. If you want to find Mixie and Deshane, I've got some work I need to do.
All right. Let me know if you need anything, Callus.
Yeah, will do.
like, give your leg a hug.
Thanks, Smash. I did it now.
Pat you
Thanks.
on the head.
Thanks, Smasher. I needed the distraction.
It was fun. Besides, I look cool now.
And you do.
You
By the
do.
way, you don't have the etching anymore. It's gone.
Yeah,
was on
because
the
the
old
etching is on my old carapace, but we're gonna keep that. There's no way I'm getting rid of that.
Oh yeah, that carapace
Perfect.
is going straight into my bag of holding.
It's very important that we keep the original carapace.
Absolutely. Very important.
Perfect.
So I will go off and find them.
I mean, retracing your steps, really easy to do. Orcs easily guide you along the way too, so you'll make it back to the meat hole with ease. Callus, one of the orcs, one of the artificers, will bring you to an area. It's the same one that you originally met. As he's walking you, he says, "Most of our alchemists are goblins, but they've all left by now, so you won't have to worry about dealing with any of them."
I figured as much. I usually like to play around with chemical stuff. How old are you?
I am 17.
17? Can I have a little bit of your blood?
Yeah, gives you a quizzical look, and then says, "Sure. How would you like to take it?"
I'll pull out my needle and tube, like,
I've done this before. Usually without the person knowing. So, this is a plus side. I asked this time.
Yeah, he kneels and offers you his arm.
take some of his blood.
Thanks. I won't be needing any more assistance tonight. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And thank you for giving us some fantastic things to work on tonight.
Oh yeah. Whenever the axe is done, bring it to Smasher.
I'm sure it's already on its way.
Good.
And then he walks off. We're going to head over to the mead hall quickly. We're getting close to the very end of tonight, actually. So we're going to head over to the mead hall. Smasher, you walk in. The revelry has gotten to the point where anyone who's still awake is incredibly drunk. Muzz Firefist has actually passed out under the table at your feet, Mixinix. She was not able to keep up with you. And a lot of orcs find that hilarious, especially Monk. Monk, at this point, has been laughing pretty regularly.
The orc couldn't keep up with a gnome.
No.
Smasher walks into the room and sees, I'm assuming Jashane and Mixie are just sitting right next to each other.
The same place you actually left them, actually.
Okay, so walk into the room and I kind of like run up past everyone to Mixie, and excitedly,
Mixie, look!
That's awesome!
It's a bigger smasher.
I take a look at Smasher and I say out loud, maybe I should let that kid take a look at my guns.
I look cool, right?
Yes!
You look fantastic, Smasher.
does JoJo poses.
Oh, that just knocked
Oh!
off my... Sorry, everyone at home. That just killed your ears, probably. His typing is my fault. By the way, everyone, Syrinscape, it's a beautiful thing. Those wonderful sounds and noises, all provided and done by them. You should go check them out. You can do it at the tabletop, and you can do it virtually, like this. It's very delightful. Right, that wasn't long
Syrinscape,
enough.
folks.
For...
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna repeat the ad. Like a really bad, like when you don't have Spotify, like the full extension of Spotify, and it gives you the same ad 2 times in a row. Oh, that's hell. That is a level of hell, you know? I think it's specifically stated in Dante's Inferno that 2 ads back to back is...
It's its own version of hell.
Yes, exactly. It's
one of the
left
levels.
for only the most heinous types of people.
Level 3, you have to undergo the same room multiple times until finally you have given up on your existence in hell itself. This is entirely my fault, by the way, from what I just sent him for what I'm trying to do.
No worries. No worries.
RP amongst yourselves. You're with each
Oh
other.
yeah, we're here. What would we talk about, the 3 of us? I forget what we were even talking about before.
He's shiny and new.
Okay. Well,
I'm bigger and I look cool. Basically. And I'm just a little bit stronger.
There's a little hole in his carapace chest.
While he's flexing, Mixie like squeezes it to give him it like, yeah, no, I appreciate the muscles.
It's a whole metal, so it doesn't really flex.
I no pun intended, finger the hole on his chest, and I say, "You guys trying to make a gun?"
Just the tip.
Well, it doesn't shoot bullets, but watch this. And I'm gonna throw a cup into my chest and then just like lob it across the room, like over everyone's head.
Like just straight lob it.
Huh.
That's a 18 to lob it. Just take it. I just threw it like a wooden cup or something inside my chest and just like blew it out over the
It goes
party.
flying over, and crashes into the head of an orc way down there. He doesn't even realize it came from you. He thinks it came from someone across the table, and you just see him fly across the table, fists swinging, and a fight breaks out down there. A happy fight, not an angry fight.
Look, you're a natural.
So
I guess it's kind of, I mean, cannon? Gun? Cannon? It's kind of. It wasn't my idea, it was Callus's.
Where is
Actually, it was all Callus's idea. I won't lie.
Is he still with the artificers?
He went to the alchemical labs, I believe. He told me to come find you guys. I didn't really ask questions.
At this point, you hear, or rather see, the door get kicked in, and that big black orc comes marching in. He's got this axe. It almost rivals the matriarch's axe in just how different of an axe it looks. When he comes in, you can tell he used some of the void metal to kind of flow through it to give it some oomph in looks. And you can see that it's been edged with adamantium, which means it's never going to get dull. It's going to stay sharp always. And he comes marching up to you, pride just billowing off of him. And he hands it over to you and kneels as he does so. And he says, "Your axe."
Thank you.
Picks up the axe and
It's not as heavy as it should be. It's actually, in your hands, you feel like this is going to be a very formidable weapon. By the way, you still also have your radiant axe. So now you have 2 axes.
well, where shall we test your mighty product?
His eyes flare, and then you see the exhaustion start to settle in on him, and he goes, "I want to see you wield it tonight, but I feel like I put a bit of myself into that and might need to rest first. How about we reconvene in the morning, and then we see just how epic it looks?"
Yes, no. Excellent point. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And then he uses the table to lift himself up, and you hear creaking bones as he just, oh, and then walks out of the meat hall. Monk on the other side of the table looks up at you and goes, "Very nice. Very nice indeed."
Thanks.
Perfect. Anything else from the 3 of you before we bring Callus back?
No?
So,
All right.
Monk, I was told to talk to you if I wanted to get a bit more savvy.
Hand-to-hand combat, I take?
Yes.
Oh, yes. If you'd like, I can show you how I train myself in the morning. And we can go over some rituals that I use.
I'm an empty book. Fill me with thy knowledge.
That is the best way to approach such things. He nods, and then slides over to you another glass of it's more of an amber alcoholic liquid, but he actually had been slowly drinking from it himself after he'd finished the whiskey that Deshane had passed over to him.
That's one more.
At this point, you realize just how strong this alcohol is. Con save at disadvantage. Let's
Fuck
see if
her
the
up,
DM
DM.
can
Fuck her
actually
up.
make it happen.
Fuck her up, DM.
We'll see.
18.
18. Oh, wow.
15 was
You know
my
what?
lowest. I rolled a 19 and a 15.
Wow. Surprisingly, you feel really, really drunk and everything, but it's not taking you down. Nothing they have thrown at you is taking you down. You are going strong.
It's
But
a
you are-
matter of willpower at this point. I get drunk when I want to. Otherwise, I can just keep drinking.
All right, the meat hole starts to clear out. A lot of the orcs are going to bed now, and Callus.
I'm gonna add to the meat hole, looking a little paler than usual. and look at Deshane.
Deshane,
Mm-hmm.
I need something from you.
Yeah.
Can you come with me?
Okay.
Make
I get up and I pull my jacket off of the back of the seat.
Yeah.
Hat.
I think it'd be best if you come too. Smasher,
Let's
you
go.
too if you want.
Yep, let's go, buddy.
I will take them to the alchemy place. Look at Deshane.
I need a little blood.
Okay.
I'll take the blood, drop it into a few vials. There's a little process that goes by, and pull out a drop, put it into a single glass, and take a look at it.
I thought so. If you all don't mind, I think we need to go to Daggerfim. If this is right, I've got just over 3 months left.
Left of
My life.
what do you mean?
I'm a clone. I was made by someone else. And I wasn't made perfectly. If I don't figure this out, I'm gonna be dead soon. And I don't want to die.
You won't.
Callus, your name isn't Will for nothing.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Well, you're a shimmer pop, kid. Completely off the beat, but never gone.
Deshane,
We leave in the morning. For Daggerfim.
I'm sorry. I know it throws everything else off whack.
It doesn't.
Who knows? Maybe we'll find your tower there.
Maybe.
And with that, folks, we're actually going to call it tonight.
Oh.
Call
Gotta
it
be
on
all
a
misty
heavy
right at the very end.
Right?
I love it when things end heavy
Oh.
like that.
Really pulls at the heartstrings.
Really does. All jovial and
Really
happy and
does.
jokes.
No, my boy. Yeah.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
episode. Good episode.
Yeah, it went from Smasher's Day at the Spa with upgrades to...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good times.
Folks, that will be it for tonight. We will see you next week for more Into the Nightmare, but tune in tomorrow for some Playing with Mutts. We'll see just how much Valheim we get through.
Yes, we're
And
gonna
we have
we have the Wolf Pack Alpha joining us tomorrow. So Michael Howarth will be hopping on with us to play some Valheim and enjoy some times with that. And if I
get to
can,
finish building a room.
yes.
Now.
If I can, actually, just a little quick reminders. The last week of December, from the 20th to the 27th, the Alberin is going on holiday. We are going to take a break, and there will be no scheduled entertainment for that time, but we encourage you all, during that time, please do check out our YouTube and take a moment to catch up on all our wonderful TTRPGs. Doing that voice is actually a little difficult right now, so I will stop at that point. But yeah,
Are we, I've been meaning to ask, are we going to do any hosting or anything like that?
Yes.
Anybody we know?
We have auto hosting going on. We're gonna double check and absolutely make sure that the Salty Kraken is hosted on here, because as we all know, if I'm not at the Owlbear Inn, I'm at the Salty Kraken. Stole that from you, Hans. But other way around. And we will also have Michael Howe Arts as for auto hosting as well. So that'll always be going on. You can always come in and check that out and see if they're going on, and if they are, drop by them and give them a like and a follow and a subscribe if you can as well. They deserve it. They're wonderful people.
Absolutely. So, until next time, folks, don't worry too much about Callus for now. I'm sure the rest of the party will save him. I hope. And we'll see you later.
Long days and pleasant nights, folks. Woo!
May have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.